of.
Right.
Over town for like 5 scans.
Reed says huge wedge. I'm watching on the side screen here. Because I want to watch it for myself. Oh my!
Oh, it is a huge wedge.
Oh, and it's rain wrapped. It's rain wrapped. Tornado emergency.
Rain wrapped.
Tornado emergency. Tornado emergency for Rolling Fork and Anglia. That is a wedge. That is a large tornado. That is a violent tornado. Tornado emergency has been issued for Rolling Fork and Anglia.
Alright, whatever you said, I cut you
That is a wedge.
Yep. At 8:03, a confirmed large and destructive tornado was located over Rolling Fork, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. This is a tornado emergency for Rolling Fork and Anglia. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Folks, this is as serious as we can get it here. This is as serious as we can get it here. Anguilla, Nidiyuma, Delta City,
Oh
Midnight,
my
and
goodness.
Belzoni need to be in your shelters. Underground shelter is the best chance that you have at keeping yourself safe from this. You have no time if you're in Rolling Fork. You need to be in a safe space yesterday. If you're in Anguilla, south of Anguilla, you have a couple minutes to get pillows and blankets and get into an underground shelter or your lowest innermost part of your building.
Yeah, I mean,
Innermost is the key term there. Very, very important that you are heeding this. This is a very strong tornado on the ground, possibly destructive as worded by the tornado emergency. And again, like I said, if you're also along State Route 14 east of Anguilla, you need to be watching out for this as well. Any of those areas, any neighborhoods that there might be between Anguilla and Louise, you guys need to be watching out for this as this is coming right up your way.
And I'm sorry to be rude.
look at how large the Spectrum width ball is.
If you are in the path or know somebody that you are,
That right there.
tornado warnings that you want to
Wow.
Okay. This is not.
And don't even get me started on the correlation coefficient, because the correlation coefficient is at the lowest it can be. It legit. Oh, Ben McHome, large tornado. This right here is from Ben McHone at Tornado Warned. At Tornado Warned. That'll do it. That will do it. That is a wedge. That is a large tornado. Very large tornado. And it's going straight for Rolling Fork. It's right next to Rolling Fork. Rolling Fork's gonna get a direct impact here, unfortunately. Wow. But that is a wedge. And once again, that's from Ben McHone at Tornado Warned. We have to emphasize, this is a significant tornado. Zachary Hall with another picture of a, what looks to be pretty significant tornado as well.
Positioning us for this because this could very easily turn into a huge mess here when we arrive if this thing stays on the ground. So.
Wow, I mean, this is a very large tornado. And if you're just tuning in here, this is a tornado emergency right now. My eye is itching at the worst possible time. I apologize. But this is a tornado emergency here for Rolling Fork and Anguilla in Mississippi. And if you live over here in Anguilla and Rolling Fork, you need to get in your safe space right now. This is Highway 61. This is State Route 14 in Mississippi. I mean, this is...
But you do need to take some sort of shelter. And if you are very close to the storm, you may need to compromise the level of shelter you're taking. But understand that any form of shelter is better than no shelter. And there's a lot of mobile homes in this area up here. If you live in a mobile home or know somebody that is, they need to get the hell out of it.
I'm gonna pull this up here on the side.
You don't want to be in that thing when there's like 70 mile an hour
Oh,
winds,
Zach and Frankie are caught.
a couple 100 mile an hour winds from a tornado. So figure something out. You still got time. The storm's
They're caught in it.
60 miles per hour.
New up. Okay. That's not what I wanted to see.
That you safely have enough time and you have a mobile home or something, it may be a good idea to leave that mobile home and go.
That's a direct hit with Rolling Fork.
The storm. If it's too late,
That's a direct hit with Rolling Fork.
some sort of compromise, but understand that these mobile homes that are oh so
Look at how large the debris ball is here, guys.
are not good to be in with a tornado.
That is a
Make that very, very clear. This is not.
that is a direct hit there with Rolling Fork.
That tornado emergency does remain in effect, and I'll let you know as soon as that changes.
Wow. Man, oh man, this is very, very intense right within here. Yeah, that is a large tornado. That is a large tornado from what I've seen. Texas Storm Chasers caught a very large tornado within that as well. Yeah, this is a direct hit with Rolling Fork, and the worst part about it here, guys, I don't really see this thing stopping anytime soon as of right now. If you know anyone that lives in Anguilla and Luis and Midnight, they're heading to you guys next. The storm is going to be heading towards you guys next. My recommendation, if you're in Luis, head south. Head south on 49, go to Yazoo City. If you are in Midnight, go north. Go north on 49 to Belzoni, and then go west. Go west. Sure, there may be hail over there. Oh well. You need to get out of the way of this thing. Alright? You need to get out of the way of this thing. Anguilla, it's too late. If you're on the northern side of Anguilla and you're in a car, go north on 61. Otherwise, if you're in Anguilla, stay in your safe space right now. Alright? If you are on 14, in between Anguilla and Luis, it's too late. Alright. You need to get into a sturdy structure. Oh my, ow. 92 on top of 105. Wow. That is very strong. Wow. I mean, this is... I mean, we'll just play the loop here. Once again, tornado emergency has been issued. Tornado emergency has been issued. And a significant tornado is ongoing as of right now. Wow. This is a very powerful storm. It is still going. It is now on the southern side of Anguilla. It's about to cross over Highway 14. If you are in Midnight in Luis in Mississippi, I urge you to get into your safe space immediately. This thing is about to cross over right in front of you guys. This is a very dangerous situation. Once again, tornado emergency. Just to read the warning for you all here, real quickly. And it looks like there's been some significant damage, by the way, in Rolling Fork. Zach Hall went to Rolling Fork to see what the aftermath was. There's a lot of damage over there. Just for reference. All right, this is the wording for a tornado emergency for people who can't remember, okay, or people who haven't heard. A tornado emergency has been issued for Anguilla and Luis. Tornado warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time for Humphreys and Sharkey counties. All right. At 8:11 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a confirmed large and destructive tornado is located over Anguilla, or near Rolling Fork, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Tornado emergency for Anguilla and Luis, or Anguilla. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Hazard, deadly tornado. This tornado will be near Delta City at 8:20, midnight at 8:30, and Belzoni at 8:40. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed, and considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. Once again, tornado emergency has been issued. This is Sharkey and Humphreys counties here in Mississippi for a very strong tornado that is currently ongoing, and it's going to continue to go, honestly. This thing has no reason to stop whatsoever. This thing has no reason to stop whatsoever.
New mesoscale discussion, and it's for this supercell that they just put out, saying that a intense tornado of EF3 plus rating, that's what they said, it's not me saying it, is likely ongoing with a supercell track northeast across western Sharkey County, Mississippi, and the storm should persist for the next half hour to an hour. VROT well above 70 knots and a well-defined TDS up to 13,000 feet, indicative of an intense tornado given the parameter space. Downstream environment features a large clockwise curve photograph or Jackson vertical wind profile with around 430 meters squared per second squared of storm relativity amid rich boundary layer moisture. This will support the maintenance of this intense supercell heading towards the northeast for the next half hour to an hour. So, like we're saying, folks, basically as serious as it can get right now.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to say as well here real quickly, not to say that this thing has died, all right? I'm not saying that the event has died or anything, this is a bust or whatever, okay? On the contrary, all right, if there was a positive for what's going on in the other weather world right now, the moderate risk has been dropped. It is now a 3 out of 5 in the severe weather scale.
They did drop that. And I mentioned that only to realize that my Discord disconnected, so. That's
classic. But on the other hand, I mean, you can't ignore the fact that this thing is as violent as it is. This is a violent tornado. This is probably going to be a long track tornado because honestly, there aren't really any storms out in front of it that can merge besides maybe these ones over here near Yazoo City. But unless if they get stronger, they're not really going to do a whole lot. So this thing is going to long track for quite a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if well, I was going to say here real quickly, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing continues to stay on the ground until it gets to probably the edge of Holmes County, maybe even Interstate 55. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing stayed on the ground for that long.
Nate, I've got debris reliable 34,000.
34?
Go look up on CC until it goes all
tornado warning extension, northern storm.
For Western Lafayette County in northwestern Mississippi, northern Yalobusha County in northwestern Mississippi, northeastern Tallahatchie County in northwestern Mississippi, southeastern Panola County in northwestern Mississippi.
Ooh, you might be right with that one. Maybe. Slightly.
There is one new tornado warning for Mississippi.
5?
Did you get the new scan?
I took a slice.
5.1 on 5.1 tilt.
I took a
slice is gonna take a minute. It lags behind. Just go on CC and look. Just base radar product. I'm sorry, but that's right there. Really quickly, tornado warning for Lafayette, Yalobusha, Tallahatchie, and Panola counties. That will be until the top of the hour. For severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Charleston. So if you guys are in the areas of Oxford, Batesville, Water Valley, Holly Springs National Forest, that area in general, including Oakland, Cortland, and Taylor, College Hill, Eureka Springs, and obviously Charleston as well. You need to be
crossing the highway right now. It's crossing 14 right now as we speak. It's about to cross 14.
This is just chewing on the ground. Louise, Midnight, you need to be in your safe space now. 100%. You gotta go.
And think of it this way too as well. Silver City, it will head off to you guys. Silver City, it's coming to you all. Highway 49 West, Luis, Midnight, Silver City. It is coming to you all. If you're in Luis, go south now. Go south now. You still have a little bit of time if you're in Luis. If you're in Midnight, unless if you're booking it north, it's too late. You need to get in your safe space now. You need to get into a sturdy building. Alright, because this storm right here is very strong. It is still very strong. It has maintained its character throughout a good duration of time. And the way to tell that this thing will continue to be strong, we've neglected to look at one of our favorite products, Morgan.
But I thought I saw the darn tornado from here because Highway 3 going
No, I'm talking about on the radar right now.
It's totally, it's just marsh. It's flat. There's like no trees.
What's one way for us to tell if this thing is going to sustain?
He was ahead of me. He may have seen something, but I thought I saw
This thing still has a massive ZDR arc.
15 miles from
Yep.
it. So
I've been looking at ZDR to just tell where the tornado is. You can do that too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you can still, because ZDR does look at that too. But this thing still has a massive ZDR arc.
ZDR picks up,
Oh.
folks, ZDR picks up negative pixels when there's lofty debris.
Chat, this is what I did not want to show you with normalized rotation. But it kind of emphasizes right now what's going on. It really does. We've hit the max. We've hit the max with normalized rotation. It is white. It has been white for a very long time. This is, oh my.
try it if you do. Okay, let me know.
Yeah, so my only rebuttal to that is I checked KDP and KDP was actually positive, high positive. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was 42.
6-4 tilt.
Yes.
KDP reads negative there.
Well, that's because you're the dendritic growth zone. Go to 5.1 again.
It reads -1 plus for me.
For you? What the?
Some spots.
CC. KDP.
Dude, it's there.
I don't know. ZDR also is positive in that spot. So
Starting to scatter.
that's why I'm saying 20. I think 20. I think 20 is,
Get on there and that'll get you directly with the roof.
and it still is, you know, it doesn't defeat the purpose that this is still a strong tornado. It is a strong tornado. It's going over Highway 14 right now. If you're just tuning in, this is a tornado emergency. This is heading off towards Midnight. This is heading off towards Silver City in Mississippi. This is a significant tornado right now. Violent tornado that is currently ongoing. It went over Rolling Fork. It just barely passed Anguilla. It is heading for Midnight directly. Midnight in Silver City. It is heading to you guys directly. So if you live over there near Midnight or near Silver City or anywhere in between, you need to get in your safe space.
They're requesting all hands on deck for catastrophic damage.
Can you send me?
I'm gonna get a scan.
Yeah.
That.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for
I'm
Tennessee.
seeing some preliminary damage here.
There is no scanner. I guess Yazoo is the best thing.
First off, this is from Texas Storm Chasers. This was a video that was sent earlier. Or a picture I was sent earlier, I should say. So this is from Texas Storm Chasers at Texas Storm Chasers. That right there is what I saw. That is a wedge.
It's like
Very well could be too. But on the other hand here, chat, this tornado was only illuminated because of the lightning. But look at how close he had to get to the tornado to see it. It's rain wrapped.
that's too close.
It's rain wrapped.
It's rain. It's rain wrapped, folks. It's 8:30.
You won't be able to see it, all right? It's too dark and it's too rain wrapped.
Do not say, if you are not an experienced chaser, and I would even go to say that you should not be on this chasing. Because think about it this way, you remember Mayfield, Nate? No one was chasing that.
Nope.
If you are not an experienced chaser, you have no reason to be outside. You are putting your life at risk by doing so.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be, if you are in this tornado emergency, Louise, go south. Midnight, Silver City, Belzoni, you need to be in an underground shelter now to have your best chance at surviving. This is a violent tornado.
Oh my.
That is pushing up towards 49 West. Violent tornado.
Oh.
You have to be in an underground shelter to give yourself the best chance. An interior room, it may not do it.
And just for reference, because this thing is still clearly as significant as it is still a very significant tornado right now. It is still a very large tornado. Look at this here real quickly, guys. So this is from Fox Weather. I'm not going to play it. Play the audio, I should say. That looks to be relatively significant. That looks to be relatively significant. Look at how many cars are there. That'll do it.
Also, I've got a question for you.
Oh, look at this picture right here, guys. Oh my gosh. This is from Zachary Hall, real quickly. At Weather Zachary. At WX Zachary.
Yeah, that is catastrophic.
And to think of this here real quickly, guys, we're showing you these pictures right now. We're showing you this before Morgan continues to talk here. We're showing you this because it's still going. This thing is still on the ground, and it is still violent. Very violent. It is heading to Midnight. It is heading to Silver City in Mississippi. If you are in those areas, you need to get your safe.
This is wobbling. When was the last time a tornado wobbled?
Oh boy. Winterset? Winterset.
It's really been that long?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I know it's been a minute, but goodness gracious. Still on the ground, still going, debris getting done. You are in Midnight in Silver City. You have no time. If you need to go Silver City, you have a little bit of time. Midnight, you have no time.
Still
You need to
a
go.
ZDR arc there
Absolutely
too.
need to go.
There is still a ZDR arc, which tells me this storm has no reason to die anytime soon. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep going. And frankly, as I mentioned, I don't think this thing is going to die until it gets to Highway 55. There's a good chance this thing continues to go until it gets there. This is a significant storm.
I sent you the Yazoo County scanner because that's the best thing that we got. We don't have one. Probably.
What about Humphreys?
We do not have one. Do not have one there either.
Well, that sucks.
One in Sunflower, one in Floor, and we have one in the Yazoo. I'm using the one in Yazoo.
Go away, ads. Man, this is a large and extremely dangerous tornado right now. Large and extremely dangerous tornado that is now approaching Midnight and Silver City. If you are at Midnight, or if you are in Silver City in Mississippi, now is the time for you to get in your safe space. This thing is still going. This thing is still very significant. This thing is deadly.
Tornado emergency continues at 8:22. A confirmed large and destructive tornado is located 7 miles southwest of Midnight, 12 miles northeast of Rolling Fork, moving northeast of 50. This is a tornado emergency for Midnight in Silver City. This is a particularly dangerous situation to take cover now. Has your deadly tornado source radar confirmed. So,
I'm saying 22. 22,000 is my guess.
Nothing has changed, folks.
I'll be recording just in case. Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, wow. This is definitely 22,000 feet.
Going into a dead zone, but I'm recording, guys.
Which is horrendous to say.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I got radio silence in Gaza's.
yeah.
Which may be
Mayor of Rolling Fork saying that some of the people there think that, or not think, know that their houses are gone. I'm gonna check Memphis's radar real quickly. It does look like the cell near Enid does have some decent rotation here as well, heading to Water Valley, Taylor, and Oxford. So Oxford, if you live in Oxford down there, you guys need to watch out for that. That storm over there that has been continuing for quite a long time. There's a good chance that you guys could potentially see some tornadic. So Lafayette, Panola, northern Yalobusha County over there in Mississippi. Guys need to watch out, but the immediate danger right now has got to be the tornado emergency that is for Midnight in Silver City. If you guys live over there, please get into your safe space. If you live south of Belzoni, you need to get in your safe space. If you live east of Belzoni, towards Chula, all right? Chula, Thornton, and western Holmes County, you need to get in your safe space. This thing is still going,
Wedge tornado.
and it has no reason to stop.
Wedge, guys. Hold up.
Yeah, what they're seeing is absolutely.
Copy that. I just turned. You can barely see it. It'll be center of the frame. Big wedge. Big wedge, center of the frame, people. Big nasty tornado. Don't mess with it. We're right in
Yeah,
its path. We only got a minute to deploy.
Wow, I can't get enough of what all is happening here. New tornado warning now.
Tornado warning for northern Holmes County
No longer
in
tornado
central
emergency
Mississippi,
downstream.
Western Carroll County in north central Mississippi, southern Leffler County in north central Mississippi, east central Humphreys County in central Mississippi.
I mean, this velocity still looks pretty significant. Right now, they're only doing radar confirmed. They're not doing PDS or a tornado emergency for that. Although tornado emergency still does continue for Midnight in Silver City, which Midnight's getting hit right now. If you live in Midnight, you are getting hit right now, as we speak. Specifically, the northern side of Midnight. All right.
in Silver City. It's heading right toward you.
Yeah, Silver City. It's heading straight for you. You need to get in your.
There
safe
is
space
one
if
new
you're in
tornado
Silver
warning
City.
for Mississippi.
That's a roadway there, with Silver City, isn't it? What road is that?
Velocity signature ain't getting any weaker.
That's 49 West. So actually, 149 is where Midnight and Silver City is at, and then 49 West is what goes through Silver City in itself. So if you're near 49 West, or if you're near 149 over near Midnight, you need to get in your safe space.
It's right in the middle there, folks.
I mean, this thing isn't really ripping up a whole lot of stuff right now. Someone mentioned in chat it's going over farmland. They're right, because of the fact that it's going over farmland, it's not hitting a whole lot of
Probably not
stuff.
gonna yeah, you're probably not going to read too much on correlation coefficient.
Right. So this is a major issue. Once again, Midnight, I hope that you're in your safe space right now. Silver City, you need to get in your safe space right now, if you haven't already. Silver City, Mississippi, significant situation, violent tornado emergency that has been issued for Humphreys County over there in Mississippi. And then this is also heading towards Chula. Alright? Chula, Mississippi, over in western Holmes County. If you're in western and northwestern Holmes County, you need to get in your safe space. You need to get into your safe space right now.
Wobbling more. Leaning a little bit more to the right now. Tornado emergency continues at 8:33. Confirmed large destructive tornado is located near
Oh my. It recycled. It recycled while tornadoes on the ground.
Yeah.
It had a failed occlusion. This is a long tracker. I mean, it obviously, but this is certified now. This is going to be on for a while. What I just saw here, chat here. All right, I want you to recognize how tightly compact the velocities were right here on its approach to midnight. I also want you to recognize how deep the correlation coefficient was as it was over this point. As we go over closer to midnight, the rotation seems to get larger, but in turn, either we have some de-aliasing right here, or we have two distinct areas of rotations, and it shed a little bit of it to the left, but at the same time, when things occlude, you get a lot more rain within the storm. It becomes a lot more rain wrapped, and it tries to bend a little bit more towards the left. We kind of get these little curls to the left. So let's see if this debris ball, if we go back over a couple of scans, we'll see that if this thing, we'll start it from right here, starts to curl just a tiny smidge to the left. So let's actually go with the edge of the tornado right here on the northern side. So there's that. There's that.
Okay, I don't have a visual on it. Oh, there it is right there.
It goes to the right.
Right there, power flash.
And then it chills up
Right
back
there.
to the
I know
left.
the lights on. Oh my god. This
That.
is massive. We have a huge
That.
tornado, folks. Drew, this thing is extremely
That.
large.
So that means it probably did its occlusion process already down here. That was probably when it did its occlusion process, and that's the reason why the actual rotation fizzled off a little bit later on, which makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. And so now you have two areas of rotation trying to fight for dominance here. So you have the other one that's to the south right here. This one's the old one right here, the old tornado. If this thing merges, if the rotations merge, not only will this be a huge issue for Silver City, all right, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Sulphur, Oklahoma in its own way, but it'll be a huge issue for Chula as well. So, emphasis right now on Silver City. Significant tornado in progress right now.
All right, tornado,
Violent tornado.
where are you?
Okay.
Where are you,
Yeah, it's going over Silver City right now.
Should be to our right.
So it is hitting Silver City. Tornado emergency for Silver City as we speak. And this will head to Chula.
Right now.
If you live in Chula,
Just blasting the hell out of us.
you need to get into your safe space right now. So Chula, we're talking Kruger, Highway 49 East, State Highway 12, State Highway 12, State Highway 49 West right here at Silver City. Midnight and Louise and Anguilla, as well as Rolling Fork. You guys are in the clear. Now it's Kruger and Chula. Silver City's getting hit right now. I pray that they are doing fine right now. It doesn't look like it on CC, but I pray that they're doing okay. It's now Chula and Kruger. Chula and Kruger. Blackhawk and Coila, by the way, in Carroll County, for Mississippi, you guys need to be on standby. You guys need to be on standby.
Well, maybe. Depends on if it includes.
Yeah.
Winona, Carrollton. Two areas that should mean something to you. Carrollton is east of Greenwood.
Yep.
We all folks up there along 55. You gotta keep eyes on this.
I'm approaching. I don't know how big Silver City is.
I'm not saying that it's gonna make it to you, but this thing ain't gonna die easily.
It's big and it's crossed. Might have some tree damage here, but I don't know if this is old damage or new damage.
Oh, Vince is running right into the tornado. He's driving north on 49.
Okay, I just came across the damage path. Drew, could you do me a favor and look at satellite? Tell me if Silver City is a substantial.
A chaser was hit and injured. That's what I was scared about. I hate Highway 49. I legit hate Highway 49. Or not 49, 61. I hate Highway 61. It's just a... I hate the highways over there in Mississippi in general. Yeah, correlation coefficient got worse. It did exactly what we thought. It's occluding, or it did occlude, and now it's recycling completely. That is not good downstream.
I think I just passed it.
I ain't gonna say a word beyond what I'm sending you.
Oh my!
Yes.
Before you say anything, oh, Marcus Reynolds. Wow.
Saying.
Someone reported on Twitter that Marcus is okay, and that he hit his head. Car has no windows. What was I gonna say?
Confirm there is a damage path. There's just not a whole lot for it to hit, but there's definitely a damage path.
Big drop.
That's what I was gonna say. It's filtering. The tornado is that significant that the debris is now ventilating from the actual storm.
Yeah, it's filtering out with the forward flank.
Look at this here, guys. There's your tornado. This right here is debris, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is debris. And that is being pushed out in front as a part of anvil precipitation. The ventilation of this supercell has ventilated the debris that was a part of Rolling Fork and areas all the way up towards Silver City. It's still got 2 areas of rotation. It looks like it's recycled.
Copy. Be advised, there's large signs.
Yeah, it's there. It's got 2 areas of rotation. Who knows if it can recycle again? But it looked like it had a failed occlusion, and it's still on the ground. Vince is retreating, and there are...
Emergency, Chula.
Yeah.
Tornado emergency.
Oh, shit.
Power lines down on 49 West.
Brandon Kopic, we got houses off
So
a
folks,
roof,
that
or
tornado
roofs off of
reported
houses,
warning
complete
downstream has
destruction
been
of buildings
upgraded to a
up here.
tornado emergency.
Step
This
it up.
includes areas of Chula, Kruger, Blackhawk, Coila, and Carrollton. So up 49 east.
Oh, come on, man.
I'll be out of the car,
Updated.
unavailable for a minute.
Yep. At 8:41, a confirmed large and destructive tornado is located near Belzoni, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Tornado emergency for Chula. This is a particularly dangerous situation as ordered by the National Weather Service in Jackson. So locations that are going to be impacted include Thornton at 8:50, Chula and Howard at 9, Seven Pines at 9:15, Blackhawk at 9:20, Coila and Emory at 9:25, as well as Kruger and Carrollton way down the line. So, folks, you got to be taking this seriously. If you are on the eastern side of the warning, like Blackhawk, Coila, and Carrollton, you have time to prepare and either get out or get necessary things to protect yourself from this tornado. news scan, and CC has fan, which is a little bit interesting. The velocity signature is still quite significant, so let's see if it's just hitting. There's a good chance that it's just hitting nothing. So Chula and Kruger around 49 east, as well as Blackhawk and Koila on 17 way down the line. You guys need to be in your safe space now. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building, and underground will give you the best chance to survive. I'm going to say that again. Underground will give you the best chance to survive. And looking at the damage photos that we are getting out of Rolling Fork, it may be the best option for you to seek an underground shelter, whether that is in your town or whether you need to go a couple towns over to get toward that. Just got a report from Evan Evans of a large wedge tornado on the ground 2 miles to his northeast as of 3 minutes ago. So this thing is still on the ground, still chewing. I don't think it is lifted despite what CC has said. There's a solid chance it's just hitting open farmland. Rolling Fork, we have a report of a completely destroyed structure, rolled vehicle, and severely damaged trees, as well as a report of individuals trapped in what was described as a truck stop near Rolling Fork. So, folks, it is as serious as you can get it right now for these areas north of Chula. If you are on 12 between Thornton and Belzoni, you need to be in an underground shelter. If you're in Chula and Kruger, like I said, along 49 East, you need to be in an underground shelter. If you are along 17 near Carrollton, Koila, and Blackhawk, you have some time to get mattresses, pillows, helmets, and particularly well-built shoes. That is the most important thing to me that I will stress, is if your town happens to be impacted, and you happen to be directly impacted, you need sturdy footwear to get around after the fact. So, just absolutely a necessity that you guys are taking this seriously at the moment.
So, analogs, right? Sam Emerson, love Sam Emerson. Sam Emerson's work is absolutely phenomenal.
Brains.
Did his whole thing on trying to figure out, based off of radar, how significant this tornado was.
VROT, yeah.
There was only 4 analogs that this tornado at peak compared to. All of them were EF4. 2 of which were the Pilger twins. Take that however way you will. Another one was Pawnee County. That was May 18th, 2013, and then Leake County, Mississippi, April 28th, 2014. So, for those of you who know what those tornadoes are, analogs are comparing those tornadoes to this one right now. So just kind of get an idea as to how significant this thing really is. This thing is 100% EF3 at minimum. Based off of the damage that I've seen, good chance it could be EF4 too. Good chance.
Zachary Hall was asked to tweet from a Rolling Fork, Mississippi police officer, and I quote, "Major tornado damage. We need as many ambulances as possible and any help for search and rescue in the town." Again, from a police officer. Zach was asked to tweet it.
Yeah. There is, and that's a pretty small town too. It's a very small town. Which means they don't have as many utilities to be able to try and recover from it as quickly as, say, some other areas. So, with that being said, they probably do need as much help as they possibly can.
Search and rescue also needed in Silver City.
Hey, I'm a storm chaser. This thing's still on the ground. Everybody down there is 10-2.
There's no way this thing is off the ground.
If you guys find any additional stuff on Twitter, please be sure to @ me and @ the National Weather Service. @ Nate_Snyder on Twitter. I'm putting it on there. Once again, tornado emergency. It passed through Rolling Fork, did significant damage over there. passed through Midnight and Silver City, and it is now passing over Highway 12, Mississippi State Highway 12, and is getting closer to Chula and Kruger. So if you are in Chula or Kruger, either one, you need to get in your safe space. Sure, this thing on track may look to be going through the middle of you all right? But regardless of anything around, all right? First off, flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter, because if you can imagine a 2x4 being slung around by a large tornado, such as this one, that will kill people. So you need to get into a sturdy structure right now and stay away from windows. On the other hand,
It recycled again.
yes, it did. It actually shed its rotation finally on the side.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
It's very rain wrapped still. It's actually got a little bit of a ZDR arc still as well. Still has a ZDR arc actually. Wow. This, yeah.
Chewing on the ground. That's a new tornado warning for Oxford.
Yeah.
Tornado warning for. There is one new tornado warning for Mississippi. Western Union County in northeastern Mississippi, northwestern Pontotoc County in northeastern Mississippi, southeastern Marshall County in northwestern Mississippi.
A lot of straight line everything with very minimal.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on that storm that's over
Denmark,
near
along
Oxford.
6 and 30. Etta as well, and New Albany. You guys are on the eastern edge of the warning. You guys need to be in an underground shelter. Lowest and most part of your building, away from windows. Take as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation as you can. So move this over here. Time to bring Fort Polk's radar to, I don't know where actually.
You could hypothetically do Columbus Air Force Base, but
I just put a Little Rock there.
once again, if you are just tuning in here right now, there is a tornado emergency that has been issued for northwestern Holmes County, southwestern Carroll County, and then southern portions of LaFleur County in Mississippi. This is a storm that has historically done significant damage. And if you live in any of those counties that I have mentioned, whether it's Chula, the city of Chula or the town of Chula, the town of Kruger, the town of Sidon, the town of Blackhawk, the town of Coila, you need to get in your safe space right now. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet with no windows, so you can put as many walls between yourself and the tornado as possible. And this thing, by the way, chat, is still ventilating debris. See all that right there on correlation coefficient and ZDR? This thing is still ventilating. This thing is chewing up debris and throwing it out. This is significant. So when the National Weather Service issues warnings like this, tornado emergencies, 99% of the time, they actually mean it. They are deadly situations. Very deadly situations, I might add. And they should be respected accordingly. So Chula and Kruger in Mississippi, in northwestern Holmes County, you guys are in immediate danger right now. You're in an immediate danger.
No way this thing just turned right. It did turn right.
I think it might be recycling, so give it a second. It'll turn right and then it'll shift off northeast sharply.
North side of Chula, all of Chula, underground.
Yeah, I'm just saying at this point, Chula and Kruger and anywhere in between. Get into your safe space right now. You do not want to risk it. You do not want to risk it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know anyone who lives within these areas, please share this information with them, because this is a very serious situation. Remember, keep hitting the thumbs up button down below, and even subscribe. You can unsubscribe and unlike. You can dislike it after the stream. For right now, we want to try and get this information out to as many people as possible on YouTube. And this is very, very intense with it.
What about over there? Have you been over there? I'm not. I just came back there. Everyone's okay back there. Okay. That was big. Yeah. Huge. I got it. Yeah, so did I. I wasn't sure if I was in it or not. I guess talk to a couple of these people that show up and make sure they don't. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going on. Let me grab a radio. Yeah, I mean that's. There's only a couple people in this town.
Still on the ground.
Can you do me a favor?
I can do my best.
You have METAR stations up, correct?
Yeah, but my GR Earth is just not functioning right now, so
You have it on Analyst, correct?
I do.
Go to the METAR station that's east of Greenwood. And you should be able to take a look at why this thing will probably continue to sustain for as long as it can.
What, wind guard direction among other things?
Direction and strength. The fact that you have south-southeasterlies at 30 knots.
It's ripple.
What's your name, ma'am? Okay.
It's still on the ground. It didn't... It looks like it didn't lift.
This is,
It keeps occluding, though. It keeps recycling. Oof. Yeah, this is a very... I mean, I keep saying this over and over again. I don't know how else to describe this besides... This is a strong tornado.
Nate, DMs, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
Did you come from this way or from that way? I was behind you. Okay. I was behind you. You survived?
I still think Winterset to a lesser degree.
Congratulations.
The whole time, though? Like this is?
The whole time until it got over that interstate that went east-west of,
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Tennessee.
Because it crossed over 35. And then it got to that interstate. And then it finally died.
Okay, I'm trying to find incident command, which we don't have one. Hey, are you...
Yeah, this is a, and there's another area of rotation behind this. This is another storm that's over near Silver City. Wow, it's another supercell.
Are you IC? Incident command? Do you have a...
Silver City, Thornton, Chula. I would stay in your safe space. There's a second rotation that's coming in behind this. A second one. And if that one takes up any of the characteristics that the first one has, it could at least try to produce a tornado.
Thank you.
Yeah, that one's not on the ground near Silver City, but... Yeah, if you're in Chula or in Kruger in Mississippi, I'm gonna keep saying this over and over and over again, so I apologize if it sounds like a broken record. It has to sound like a broken record. You need to get in your safe space right now. The storm has had a history of producing large, long track tornadoes. Violent in nature. And people need to get in their safe space. I want to see if I can find anything else here across the board. Yeah, that Silver City style is starting to intensify, and that is not good. The second one is starting to intensify behind it, which is not good. Report out of Silver City of a home damaged. The picture relayed via Twitter. Once again, there was, yeah, Bentley now saw it too. New supercell looks to be developing on the southwest edge of the lead supercell. Could see 2 strong supercells developing out of this cluster. Yep. So even Bentley sees it too. Silver City. So Chula and Howard, or actually realistically, it'll be going over the same exact spots. Chula and Kruger, after this storm passes through, you are still not going to want to go anywhere. If you are in Chula, after this tornado crosses over Highway 49, which we don't have a debris signature anymore, fortunately, you need to stay in your safe space. Because there is a second one that is heading off towards that area. There is a second one. What I want to do here real quickly is I want to show you guys one thing of damage that has really stood out to me. They just updated the warning, the tornado emergency. It is now a PDS. So it still has the tornado emergency lines, but is officially now a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning rather than a tornado emergency. I want to show you guys here really the scale of the damage here. That was when this storm originally hit the first town, which was Rolling Fork, and we have no, that was just a correction to the report. But very, very scary image here. This is from Zachary Hall at WX Zachary here. Very scary image. Very scary image here of what appears to be catastrophic damage. It appears to be catastrophic damage. So, and wow, Silver City is starting to increase.
It's gonna try and go again. Good news. The main supercells tornado has lifted.
Yeah.
There's positive ZDR around the rotation. There is a much less amount of spectrum width as well. That is done. That is done. So, Blackhawk and Koila, you guys still have a PDS tornado warning for this very strong rotation. But maybe things looking a little bit up for y'all. Now, that said, that other cell looks gnarly. Already. So, absolutely cannot rule out the possibility that that also gets a tornado, and that's a little bit closer to home for Chula. So, folks still can't be taking chances with this. Still cannot be taking chances.
You're pretty far away from your mic, by the way.
Better.
Quite, but I can turn you up as well.
Nah, don't bother. Was laying back a little bit.
Do that, and then I'll do that to counter. Should be better. Yeah, Reed's heading to the Vicksburg Hospital. They need Reed says they need emergency personnel badly. Yeah, there looks to be 2 significant supercells ongoing at this time. They look to be ongoing at this time with a ooh. That's not on the ground, but that's about a weak echo region, and I'm starting to get vibes from that. Wow. It looks very familiar. Very familiar to the storm that went before it. So there's your tornado in all actuality. Still have a lot of velocities that are moving away and velocities that are moving towards, but the real
8 DMs, please.
couplet is right there.
A couple
Oh,
people actually just mentioned you with that. I can't tell if that is a foundation. I don't think it is. But like I said, I truthfully can't tell. That is very significant damage, no less.
looks like a
Bior.
yeah,
Silver City. Already.
yeah. Which is the reason why I was like, I don't like that, because it immediately is starting to take the characteristics
that's a new
of its
tornado
former.
on this. That's a new tornado.
Yeah,
on the
heading to Black Hawk.
Supercell.
It's still going. It's still going. I couldn't show that on stream, by the way, chat, so I just retweeted it. If you want to see it yourself, feel free to take a look. Said it was not for media use, so I respect it. Understandable. And I appreciate everyone sending me stuff, by the way. If you would like to continue to send me stuff on Twitter, help me kind of get an idea as to what's happening on the ground over here, please be sure to at me at Nate_Snyder on Twitter. That way I may be able to at least see what's happening there. I mean, I know what's happening on radar, but I mean, I can't imagine what's going on down there. So yeah, that is a new tornado on the same supercell. It is heading towards Black Hawk. It is back on the ground again. And once again, this is heading off towards Mississippi Highway 17. Mississippi Highway 17. Just got a new report from Brandon Clement. North of Chula, it says trees and lines down, still assessing damage. So, and as quickly as it came, the debris signature went as well. So it looks like it was a brief tornado, but it still has rotation heading towards Black Hawk. If you know anyone that lives near Black Hawk, they need to get into their safe space. And on the contrary, Northwest of Thornton, northeast of Silver City. There is some pretty strong rotation over there that looks like this probably would put down a tornado.
Oh, that parent storm. Mesoscale discussion concerning northwestern Alabama into Middle Tennessee, saying a watch issuance is likely before 2:30Z, which is 20 minutes from now, for the risk of severe storms capable of all hazards increasing.
Man. Am I sure it's not just going over farmland? I mean, it is going over farmland, but now it's hitting stuff. So, I mean, it hit stuff and then it kind of dissipated a little bit. So, it has been doing damage. People are saying, well, what about the lapse rates now? Lapse rates don't matter when you're under a shortwave at the surface and at 700 millibars, which is what I was trying to say at the beginning of the stream here today. The worst case scenario is if they follow along both of the shortwave troughs. And unfortunately, that's kind of what we got right now.
Folks, the physics of vorticity axes and really boundaries in general promotes surface convergence. And frankly, if and I know this isn't really the time, but if you were saying that lapse rates weren't going to be a concern coming into this event, that you need to take a step back for this right now. That parent storm continues to get stronger. It doesn't look like it has spectrum width, which is interesting. I wonder if we're just looking too high up.
No, I think what actually is happening is it's looking at the inflow. It's not actually looking at where the mesocyclone is.
Hard to say where the inflow is really on that, but that does have a B word.
Yeah.
So
and the rotation's slightly north of the B word. In question, I should say. Wow.
PDS continues. It is no longer a Tory.
Yeah.
Still no longer a Tory, excuse me. And 9-10, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornadoes look in your Black Hawk. Now, I'm not gonna berate what the wording is on that, but it's not set in stone that this is on the ground at the moment per se, just given the radar data that we have, and like Nate said, could be reading inflow. Regardless, you're talking very, very significant damaging winds, probably in excess of 90 miles an hour going on with this storm. Black Hawk, Koila, you need to be in an underground shelter.
Still got debris slinging around.
On the forward flank? Oh
yeah.
My goodness. Yeah.
On the forward, or no, on the rear flank, on the southern side.
No, it's not even on.
There's still tiny smidge of debris that's continuing to be lofted.
Yeah.
So regardless if this thing is tornadic or not, this thing is still picking up a lot of stuff. And that right there, I wonder if that is side lobe.
I don't like that rotation on the back.
Yeah, Chula and Kruger, once again. All right, we said the first one, as soon as that one passes, you know, stay in your safe space. We're still saying it.
Blackhawk, you're about to get shellacked. It isn't over. This one's going to pass through, and then this one behind it, that's backed by Chula, is going to come through 30 minutes later. You got to be alert. And you got to be taking your proper precautions to protect yourself and others around you. And this is what makes it a little bit difficult when working in this industry. You know, we're here, we're covering this. I'm just gonna leave it at the fact that humans have emotions. So it is just kind of smidge difficult seeing everything happening in Rolling Fork.
Yeah.
Just really hoping that we don't get a similar situation with any of these storms. And I can't speak for Nate, but it's where I'm at. Just hope that everyone's.
Silver Pine. Right now, I'm
Just hope
trying
that everyone
to-
ends up all right.
Right now, I'm holding all right. What?
Oh, man, if I didn't know better, then Blackhawk would be a slam dunk right now, but it's not happening on correlation coefficient, which is excellent news.
Ooh.
Wow. Folks, perspective is important, and this may not be producing a tornado, but that is still 133 on top of 25.
It's right inside the
personally-
viewer.
I personally cannot recall a time that experiencing 133 mile an hour winds on its own was fun. So maybe just think about that as this thing continues to push off towards the north and east. Winona, you need to start thinking about what you're going to be doing in the event that a tornado comes up towards your area. We are getting to the point in which we need to start considering that, considering impact to your local area coming up your way in about 20 minutes.
And I'm going to send this to Morgan here, but I'm going to kind of emphasize further my point on a vorticity axis. We talk about streamwise vorticity. We talk about vorticity axis.
Wow.
I want to show you guys what I really
That's
mean.
going right. Dude,
about-
that's going right through it. That's going right through it.
I want to show you guys what I really mean. This is from Sam Brandt at SamBrandt99, who is does fantastic research on hodographs and vorticity and streamwise vorticity. This is a storm relative hodograph, which tells you the percentage of streamwise vorticity.
Oh, Nate, Blackhawk's down. Debris. Big debris.
Jeez, yeah, it's back down on the ground again.
Goodness gracious.
Just to emphasize,
Winona, like
real
I
quickly.
said. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quickly.
I don't want to talk over you.
This entire area here, under both of those shortwave troughs, all of this streamwise vorticity, which is what you need for tornadoes, it gets higher.
There is one new
gets
tornado
highly-
warning for Mississippi.
What's the word? It becomes even more probable that you will see a tornado if you see
tornado
pure
warning.
streamwise vorticity, especially if you go from 0 to 3 kilometers. And that is the case.
Tornado warning for Eastern Carroll County in north-central Mississippi, Webster County in north-central Mississippi,
Winona, you gotta go.
Montgomery County in
The
north-central
time is
Mississippi.
now.
Yeah.
You gotta get pillows, you gotta get blankets. This is a strong tornado heading up towards your area. That signature.
Oh,
I'm reading 120. I'm reading 128 on top of 34.
I'm seeing an S on
Folks.
normalized rotation. That right there is the dagger.
That is, yeah. And that rotation back to the south and west ain't no sludge either. You got to keep that in mind as well. If you are north of Vaden on 55 in Winona, south of Duck Hill, you need to be in an underground shelter now or in your lowest innermost part of your building. If you are along United States Route 82 between Winona and Kilmichael, you
Someone
need to
brought
be
up
in
a
an
very
underground
good
shelter
point.
now as well. 51, like I said, heading up towards Duck Hill. Sweatman, you also need to be in a safe space now. And then we get into farm. really any of these areas, about really 10 or 15 miles in proximity to the north of Kilmichael, Stewart, and Tomnolan on 82. United States Route 82 going up towards Euphora. You need to be in an underground shelter now. You can't. We've seen what this can do. You cannot take a chance. You absolutely cannot take a chance, and that is maybe the largest debris signature this storm has had. Folks?
It's close. It's close to when it was northeast of Rolling Fork after it passed through.
I'm just talking about, like, diameter-wise.
Yeah,
Folks?
it's close. It's very close. That is a debris signature.
I don't know how clearer I can make it to you.
Well, then let me take over real quickly. Then
Yeah.
people might ask, what is correlation coefficient? What is a correlation coefficient drop? With a radar, we have a product here that can be able to tell if what is being picked up by radar is either meteorological, essentially if it's rain, or if it's not. And whenever your correlation coefficient starts to drop, your percentage. So you see up here, it is red on the scale. As soon as it starts to go down just like that, it becomes more and more non-meteorological. Such as, you know, smoke, birds, bugs, ice, trees, pieces of homes, pieces of dirt. What else? Now, you kind of get the point. It's not water. Whenever you have as large of a ball as this one, all right? Usually when you have like 1 pixel or stuff like that, that's a smaller, smaller tornado, or maybe not even as strong of a tornado. When you have a ball as large as this one, with as strong of a velocity couplet, which, if I may, all right, the inbound velocities here is 64 miles per hour, and the outbound is 98, meaning we have a 162 mile per hour delta velocity, which is how fast
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Mississippi.
All right. That tells you that we have a very strong, violent tornado that is ongoing as of this moment. So when we say that Winona needs to get into their safe space because there is a large tornado that is heading near their general vicinity, we really do mean it.
Velocity pixels just went off the radar. That's not
probably the debris.
good.
The debris is probably messing with it.
Probably spiked it out.
Winona, my recommendation to you. It's too late for you guys at this point to start to try and drive away from this thing. If everyone in Winona started to try and drive east on 82, it'd be too late. Because traffic would be an issue and that would cause more fatalities. What needs to happen now is you need to find the nearest sturdy building, nearest anchored building towards the ground.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to get to it. And you need to either get underground or you need to get in the lowest, innermost part of that building. And you need to put as many walls as you possibly can in between yourself and the outdoors. Because this one right here, I mean, this thing has had a history of producing significant damage. Significant damage. And I want to show you guys here real quickly, okay? Because I feel like this will further emphasize, all right, I saw this on Twitter. This will further emphasize the intensity of this tornado. I'm going to take off all the warnings right here. And I am going to take off, well, actually, I probably don't need to. I'm going to show you guys a max run from both the potential tornadic debris signature and the normalized rotation. And it will show you that this thing has survived for a very long time. I'm actually going to take off the icons here too. Positive debris signature over here. Positive debris signature right here. Positive debris signature right here. Significant rotation right here. All across the board, specifically heading off into Silver City. I mean, this thing just continues to go and go and go. So please, there is a strong storm. There's a strong tornado that is heading to Winona. Strong tornado that is heading to Winona, Mississippi. If you are in Winona, Mississippi, you need to get into your safe space right now. Underground, or lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet, with no windows so you can put as many walls between yourself and this tornado as possible. There is also a second storm right behind this. It is not producing a tornado right now, but it very well could. Which means even after you get done with the first one, there is a second one that could potentially be on the way. So, do not go outside to try and view these tornadoes. If you do,
you're putting your life in jeopardy.
Your life will be in
There
jeopardy.
is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Tennessee.
There's no doubt about it in my mind. We can talk about how this thing has significant rotation. You know, right here, I'll show you guys. Here's your rotation right there. If I take it to reflectivity, you see the reds inside the circle and around the circle right here that I just put up? This tells you that this entire rotation is rain wrapped. You will not be able to see this thing coming until it is literally right on top of you. New tornado watch issued downstream. If people want to play the game, they can. I'll wait for a little bit, but I don't think it's really appropriate to play the game right now.
It's not the time. It's not the time, folks.
So,
Probably in the 60-40 range, if I had to guess.
off by 10 on both.
50-30? 70-50?
70-30.
What? I mean, QLCS, I suppose?
More than
Yeah.
likely. That's what
Suppose it
most
makes
of the
sense.
line is for.
Chasers are still trying to get to this. Folks, you know,
I'm going to pull up
You can
radar scope to
try.
see.
Pietro's in Winona. Kopic is trying to catch up. Chris Jackson's trying to catch up.
It'll be
Folks,
too late for
you know,
people.
no one should be on the roads. Nobody should be on the
Wow.
roads. Tornado emergency for Winona.
There is one new severe
Tornado
thunderstorm
emergency has been
warning
issued
for
Winona.
Mississippi.
At 9:26, a confirmed large and destructive tornado was located near Coila, 9 miles southwest of Winona, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. This is a tornado emergency for Winona and is a particularly dangerous situation, as worded by the National Weather Service in Jackson. Folks, no one should be on the roads. Everyone who is in the warning should be taking to their safe space. Everybody who is in direct proximity to this tornado needs to be working on getting into an underground shelter, thinking about where their underground shelter is, and preparing to go there.
I'm going to show the tornado emergency here in a second. The azimuthal shear from this system, at least according to radar scope, it's been very significant. It's a steady streamline, and this goes to show you that this right here, I mean, you can see the azimuthal shear of the storm that was down in Mendenhall. This wasn't even as intense, or that wasn't even as intense as this one. This one is in a league of its own here today. And that is a tornado emergency for Winona. If you are in Winona, you need to get into your safe space right now. Deadly tornado is possible heading off into your area right now.
Sorry, I'm a bit quiet. I'm talking to a couple people here. New scan, CC continues. Man, there's a couple communities
it is
south
gonna...
of Winona. Guys, and I don't say this I don't say this lightly, and Nate will back me up there. You will die if you are not underground. If you are not like let me reword that. If you are not taking to your safe space now, if you are trying to get a glimpse of this, there is a chance you will die because you are not going to know where this is at. It is pouring in Winona now, right?
Yeah.
So
it is raining.
Folks, you cannot attempt to see this thing because there is nothing to see.
And by the time you see something, it's too late.
You're going to hear a wall of wind and the sound of a freight train, and by then it's too late.
Yeah. I mean, it's
underground. No other place to go. No other place to go.
That is wow. So I keep saying Winona. I gotta talk about the storm a little bit more, though. I gotta talk about the storm a little bit more. And by the way, with what Morgan said, I've only said that with 2 tornadoes before in this entire stream. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. If you stand outside, there's a good chance that not only will you not see anything, the tornado will be right on top of you as it's moving on through. In which case, if you're standing straight up, not only are you risking the chance of being hit by large debris that this thing is already slinging. I mean, this thing is already a mile wide in some instances. But let's not talk about the fact that you could potentially be picked up by the tornado and slung as part of the debris. So, need to get into your safe space right now. All right, this is a tornado emergency. Tornado emergency for Winona. Winona, Mississippi. This thing continues to look as if it's going to continue to sustain. It's still got a ZDR arc, which means this thing will continue to probably be here for a good bit. There's also another storm behind this near Blackhawk. A second one. If you live in Winona, you should continue to stay in your safe space even after this thing produces a tornado, because there's a good chance that this thing could potentially try to produce another one behind it. You need to take that seriously. Very seriously. Someone just said power went out in Winona. Yeah, need to get into a sturdy building and put as many walls between yourself and the tornado as possible. If you can get underground, that'd be perfect. Is there a scanner over?
Sent you the best thing I could get. It's Kill Michael. It's just down the road on 82.
Yeah. Getting an error. Can you hear anything or no?
I haven't put it up.
Yeah. It just hit southern side of Winona. Looks like it did hit the southern side of Winona. For the people who live south of Sweatman and heading towards the Bellefontaine, or the Bellefontaine areas here in Mississippi, we're talking western Webster County, central and northern Montgomery County. There is a tornado emergency that has been issued for your area. So, areas near Highway 82 or north of Highway 82.
Nate, backside rotation.
That's the reason why we're saying both, John. Just on the off chance that someone does have an underground facility, which I have seen stuff at this part of the state. I have seen that. There be underground facilities. Yeah, Blackhawk. Aberdeen near Wallersville.
Really?
Someone's saying there's a tornado on the ground over there. I have no idea where that is.
No, it's not.
I have no idea.
Folks, not only is there hail there, but that is a bounded... That's not...
It's a bounded
Weaker
region?
reflectivity... Weaker reflectivity values line up with where the correlation coefficient is in mass. And I'm just looking at Memphis even. If I go to Columbus... Yeah. Correlation coefficient lines up with weaker reflectivity values and a large hail core moving through New Albany and Wallerville right now.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to show you here real quickly just what has happened with this tornado here real quickly. The storm is now passing Winona, and the debris signature is actually starting to lighten up a little bit. But once again, a second storm behind it is heading towards Winona. If you are in Winona, please continue to stay into a sturdy structure. I want to pull this up here. This is from Reed Timmer. At Reed Timmer, ACCU from AccuWeather. And let's just watch this and what Reed's got here. This is from Rolling Fork.
This one's empty? Yeah, it's empty. I looked in there. Yeah, he's on him.
Oh, really?
That was from Reed Timmer.
It's a new tornado warning. And it's for New Albany and Wallerville.
Where?
Tornado warning. There is one new tornado warning for
Baldwin,
Mississippi.
Guntown and Saltillo,
Northwestern and
along
County
United
in
States Route
northeastern
45.
Mississippi,
You need to be in an underground
Northern Lee
shelter.
County
There's
in
2
northeastern
rotations heading
Mississippi,
off towards your area, as well
Southwestern
as
Prentiss
if you're
County in
on
northeastern
United States
Mississippi.
Route 78. You also need to be in an underground shelter right now. Wallerville, Blue Spring, Guntown, Saltillo, and Baldwin are the areas on deck that are going to be impacted by multiple tornadic storms. You need to be in an underground shelter now, if nothing else, to protect yourself from the large hail that is currently falling. That is a lot. Goodness. Getting a 75 dBz reading. Yeah, CC definitely did not lighten up.
It's still loading for me. Columbus Air Force Base is not having fun.
Oh, I'm not even using Columbus. I'm using Jackson.
For New Albany?
No, Winona. Sorry. Velocities went off the map again.
Yeah. I think it's a good precautionary of what they put for New Albany. It doesn't look to be on the ground, fortunately.
We could get a tornado near Coila soon. There's a backside rotation on that.
If you live near Baldwin, Geeville, Wheeler, Guntown, Saltillo, and Blue Springs here in Mississippi, we're talking eastern Union County, central and northern Lee County, as well as the majority of Prentiss County here. You guys need to get in your safe space if you haven't already. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building. Either or will work. Just put as many walls between yourself and the tornado as possible. Still, a lot of debris from that cell in Winona. Wow. Still going.
And Coila, that's gonna try and go soon as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. Remember, guys, if you know anyone that lives in these areas here of Mississippi, all right, we're talking now Winona, Kilmichael, Sweatman, Walthall, Eupora, all those areas over there. Please let them know. Please let them know. Because this thing is going to continue to move on through and try to produce a tornado. This thing will continue to move on through. So let them know, share the stream or share the National Weather Service. Make sure to tell them to turn on their weather radio, turn on the TV. Try and find local news coverage if there is any over here. Mesoscale discussion was issued for this thing. Again, strong to intense tornado threat should continue northeastward. Still has plenty residence time in the open warm sector as boundary layer moisture surges north. Middle to upper 60-degree surface dew points. Yeah. It's saying that this thing more than likely is going to continue to sustain for a good while. If you're just tuning in here right now, guys, if you're just tuning in, we have a tornado emergency here for Winona. Tornado emergency for Winona. The tornado just passed Winona. It just went through Winona. And it is still going. It is still going north. It's actually going northeast in this instance. It is heading towards Walthall and Bellefontaine. If you know anyone who lives over here in these areas, they need to get in their safe space. There's also a second one behind it, approaching Winona. That one could potentially produce a tornado. It hasn't yet, but it's been showing signs of rotation continuously. Need to get into your safe space if you haven't already.
There is one new tornado warning for Mississippi.
We are getting closer to 1,000 likes, so the closer we get to that and even beyond that, the more we may be able to spread this out with more and more people on YouTube. That's how YouTube's algorithm works. So if we can continue to spread this information with more and more people, that would be greatly appreciated.
Whoa.
New tornado warning. It is now
Tornado
PDS.
warning for
way
Chickasaw County
downstream.
in northeastern Mississippi, southern Calhoun County in northeastern Mississippi, west central Monroe County in northeastern Mississippi.
That is really far downstream.
That is Memphis issuing that.
Yeah. And it does look like the second one near Winona is starting to intensify a little bit, at least from a distance. So still looks like we've got a massive storm. Debris being lofted in the air. Still something tornadic here. And debris is also fanning. You can see the debris fanning out in all different directions here. So this thing still is also raining debris over in Sweatman, which is the reason why they are a part of the tornado warning as well. They're getting flying debris. If anyone's outside trying to find the tornado, 2x4 could land right on top of them. So that's not what I'm trying to do, nature enthusiasts. It's YouTube's algorithm, and I'm really want to try and get information out to people who may live out in front of this. Slate Spring, Bellefontaine, Walthall. You can dislike at the end of the stream. You can unsubscribe. I don't care. I care more about the people out in front of this. Please switch to Tupelo's radar. I believe I am on Tupelo's radar. I'm specifically on Columbus Air Force Base because Tupelo doesn't have a radar. Check NROT for Wallerville. There seems to be a bit of contamination, so it may not be completely correct. Yeah, this doesn't... I mean, this is still supercellular within the line. This is an embedded supercell within the line.
God.
There isn't as significant a rotation within it, even though normalized rotation shows pretty strong. It's mainly because of the contrast.
I need you to DM, please.
Oh my goodness. This is from Chris Hall. This is from Chris Hall Weather. And gonna move it back to right there. I don't know what that building was. I don't think we can tell unless we go back to Google Maps. Cause that's it's obliterated. My best guess would probably be a shed, but I can't tell. I really can't tell.
Wow.
More damage pictures coming out of Rolling Fort, which is the original area that got hit by this significant storm. Um, this is from Will Wise underscore WX. Will Wise underscore WX. And that's from Rolling Fork too. That is that is definitely catastrophic damage. Bredadair says the second tornado's on the ground. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I think people should treat it as if it's on the ground regardless.
I don't really have... That's the safest thing to do.
Yeah.
Apparently it's multiple chasers that have been hurt.
Jeez. If you're in Winona, we've been saying that this thing is probably going to come in again.
For what it's worth.
If you live in Winona, you should be in your safe space right now.
You should still be in your safe space.
You should still be in your safe space. We've been telling you guys over and over again that this thing is going to continue to be relevant. There's going to be another storm behind this one. Regardless if this thing is or is not producing a tornado approaching Winona, you need to get into your safe space. The mesocyclone that started being tornadic, the beginning of its tornadic producing characteristics when it was over near Lake Providence, had a 105-mile track from Lake Providence to northeast of Winona. That is a long track supercell, a long track tornado. If you've never heard of one. That is pretty much the definition of it. So here comes the second storm. It is now moving through Winona now. People say, or some chasers have reported that it could potentially be on the ground again and heading towards Winona. Or the second one is heading towards Winona. So don't immediately assume that the first storm passed through and that was the, now it's all done. No. You have to continue to stay into your safe space right now. Once the storm does pass, though, it does seem like it should be pretty much done. For you guys, at least for right now. There's going to be a few more storms that are going to move through your area. But it does look like that tornado threat will be not as significant, which is the good news. Yeah, I just wanted to pull that up on the side. The original tornado that went through Winona that has been as significant as it has been. Move over here to this Columbus Air Force Base radar.
There is one new tornado warning for Mississippi.
State Highway 9 near Slate Spring and Walthall. It is officially crossed over into Webster County, and it is now getting closer towards the southern portions of Calhoun County, and eventually even into Chickasha County, or Chickasaw in this instance, because it has a W at the end. So Chickasaw.
And Oklahoma, Nate.
So Webster, Chickasaw, and southern Calhoun County. If you haven't already, get into your safe space. This storm has been very significant for a long period of time.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Tennessee. Tornado warning for northwestern Itawamba County in northeastern Mississippi, northeastern Lee County in northeastern Mississippi.
There's also a supercell within the line there as well near Wheeler.
Southeastern Prentiss County in northeastern Mississippi.
It's there, Tishomingo County. Yep.
It is getting close to Tishomingo County, which means eventually this will get into Alabama. Corinth is fine. I know I've got someone who lives in Corinth in the chat. Corinth is fine. They're too far north. So I'm just checking up with you all there.
There is one new tornado warning for Mississippi.
I'm going to turn off this light here. My eyes are starting to hurt a little teeny bit. Wow. Calhoun's scanner is online. Not much chatter. They probably wouldn't have a lot to talk about, honestly. What?
Tornado warning for northeastern Webster County in north central Mississippi, northwestern Clay County in northeastern Mississippi.
Okay,
Jackson. Thank you.
I mean, they issued a tornado warning. They just say it's not confirmed right now, which probably means as of right now. National Weather Service Jackson believes that it isn't producing a tornado as of this moment. There also would be something said about the tornado emergency, or now the PDS tornado warning now. They probably would have said something about Winona if there was a tornado. But that is a new mesoscale discussion, but it is for the storms that are over north of Tupelo. It's a severe threat, including the potential for strong tornadoes and damaging winds continue across parts of northeastern Mississippi into northwestern Alabama. Given the ample streamwise vorticity and surface-based inflow for the storm, strong tornadoes and damaging winds remain possible from northeastern Mississippi into northwest Alabama. The tornado emergency is no longer a tornado emergency. It is now just a regular tornado warning. So it is not a PDS. It is not even confirmed. It is just a regular tornado warning for Webster and Montgomery counties.
apparently, apparently a chaser on the ground sent, and this is in your Twitter mentions. Silver City has been obliterated.
Chris Jackson, SC is over in Winona. He reports trees and power lines down with houses damaged. He's 3 miles east of Winona.
Severe threat, including the potential for strong tornadoes and damaging winds, continues across parts of northeastern Mississippi into northwestern Alabama. Latest radar data from GWX depicts a well-organized supercell cluster tracking east-northeastward across northeastern Mississippi this evening. Photographs are becoming increasingly favorable for intense supercells, even if embedded in line segments, given the ample streamwise vorticity and surface-based inflow for this storm. Strong tornadoes and damaging winds remain possible. Oh, frick off.
Do not care about
time and place.
Yeah. This is from on Twitter. This is from @WeathermanSam77 or I'm the Weatherman Whatever Man. All right, who's a chaser. And let's listen into what he had here, because he was over. Apparently, he was over near Chula. He was over near Chula, Mississippi, which was back over due east, or actually east-northeast of Silver City. Here's discretion is advised if there is any language.
I see rain. I think we're about to get smacked with RFD.
You did see the tornado out in front, but it was just so rain-wrapped. It was so rain-wrapped. Wow. It was so rain-wrapped. Oh, wow. It looks like there's been some pretty strong and hefty damage to Luis and Anguilla, or Anguilla, because they have mobile homes over there. Yep, no problem, Brian. Yeah, at this time it doesn't look like it is on the ground, which is the good news, and National Weather Service and Jackson agree, even though it says we have a tornado emergency here from this warning.
No, we don't.
We don't. It's not.
Yeah.
It's on the box here. If you read into it, it says that there is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, which would indicate that it is just the regular tornado warning. So, even though it says tornado emergency, as of right now, it is not a tornado emergency. But, I mean, it's still... I mean, this storm is going to continue to go for a good while. Realistically, there aren't really a lot of things in the path of this storm. I'm actually very curious Yeah, it's still riding the short wave at the surface. At the surface, it's still riding the short wave. And it's riding the short wave aloft at 700 as well. Yeah, this is it's riding that vorticity axis still. It is riding that vorticity axis until Kingdom Come. And that's what happens when you have when you ride an axis like that. You tend to get a lot of streamwise vorticity. You tend to get a lot of streamwise vorticity, which is what we were talking about earlier. We were talking about how streamwise vorticity, the storm relative helicity values, were so high. That's what happens when you have high storm relative helicity values. And you ride on an axis like that. This is from Tim Jones on Facebook. Tim Jones from Facebook. We'll go over here. So there's Tim Jones. He's a news personality right there. We'll full screen and show you all the damage there from Rolling Fork. That right there. Wow. I don't even know what that is on the right. This might be the only thing I can try to attempt to recognize. But, you know, because you have a curb right here, right? Which means you're in the main part of a road. I can't recognize any of the other images. I really cannot recognize any of the other images.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Alabama.
Still strong, damaging winds that are moving on through Tishomingo, Dennis, and Belmont over there in Tishomingo County, as well as southeastern Prentiss County in Mississippi. If you're in those areas, you need to get in your safe space. And then areas that are over near Halcutt and Tishomingo, as well as areas on Highway 30 in Mississippi, you need to get in your safe space as well, because that's probably where a tornado could be. It's a good chance that that's probably, if there was a tornado to form, it would be right in that area.
Are you keeping numbers on that supercell?
I'm still watching the Bellefontaine cell.
Okay. It's wrapping up again.
It's an entirely separate storm too.
Yeah.
And you know what that could do? The good news here, chat, all right, obviously there isn't good news, or a lot of it, whenever we're talking about something starting to re-wrap up, re-intensify and stuff like that. But what I can say is that with this new area of rotation, it could try to kill off the old tornadic supercell, the old mesocyclone that has been producing all of these significant tornadoes. And on the other hand, these storms could potentially be trying to undergo some cell mergers here soon, which could actually dampen the tornado risk with that storm as well. But, wow, what an image that is. This right here is from Stephanie Cox at Stormwatchers771. That was the tornado hitting Rolling Fork. That right there is a sculpted wedge. A sculpted wedge that is very textbook for a long track tornado. That is a sculpted wedge.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kentucky.
And usually, you know, with these sculpted wedges, they aren't the ones that are your strongest tornadoes in the world, or not the strongest, your largest tornadoes in the world. Like, they're not, you know, Bassfield So-So was an anomaly, all right? But when you think about large tornadoes, you know, you think of like El Reno and how it was 2.6 miles wide. Hallam, Nebraska, which was 2.5 miles wide, right? Long track violent tornadoes, stuff like Tuscaloosa, stuff like Chapman, or any long track tornado that you can think of. Those ones usually are about a half a mile, maybe a mile wide. They don't usually get a lot larger than that, or a lot smaller than that. And this is as textbook as you can get it. As textbook as you can get it. To where, yes, the tornado is still large. It's not going to be like, you know, record-breaking large, but it's large. And it's sculpted. And it is very, very
Nate,
textbook. Yes.
did you see the damage photos that Caleb mentioned us?
Maybe,
Vortex
maybe
tweet.
not. Depends. There's a lot of
Oh,
stuff going through my mentions.
The Vortex tweet.
Yes, I did. That might be a new tornado here.
It's very, very soon now, if not already.
Clarkson, Manti, Woodland, Montpelier. If you're over there in Mississippi, you need to get in your safe space now. This is not a drill. This is a significant situation. There's a good chance that we could be talking about a tornado here. You need to get in your safe space right now. That's unfortunate.
Hmm?
I'm not going to say anything yet because it still needs to be confirmed, but there could be quite a few impacts, injuries, and maybe even casualties. Just got a report from one of the chasers. That was over in Rolling Fork. This is Texas Storm Chasers. And he said that they requested that they pass this along to National Weather Service Jackson. And they said that they are reporting extreme damage. They are saying, if not requested already, that additional search and rescue resources are needed. They've been pulling folks out of homes since it hit town. So they're still doing it.
I don't know where I picked this up. In chat, someone asked, why don't we pre-rate? One, we have official people to do that. Two, it's really inconsiderate of the moment. Very inconsiderate of the moment.
At least right after the tornado. If the tornado was still on the ground and they put up the pictures, showed the damage and stuff like that, if you have a reasonable idea, you know, you've done your research, you extensively looked at the damage, and you actually look through the tornado damage indicator site, then you could try to make a case. But if you're just saying it to say it, it really isn't kind of appropriate to try and do that. Yeah. I apologize for the background noise, by the way. Water's running in the house, so. Night, May. Be safe. So once again, if you're just tuning in, Manti, Woodland, and Montpelier, as well as Tree Block in Mississippi, you guys need to get into your safe space right now, as there is a new area of rotation that is developing. The tornado, or the warning that originally had the tornado emergency has now expired.
Nate.
Yes.
Riley Dibble. Twitter. Been talking to a lot of chasers in the field, trying to get them help. This is a situation worse than we have seen in a very, very long time. Reportedly, through him, and he doesn't make this shit up. Rolling Fork is gone with fatalities. And he also says on his side that Silver City also has significant damage with fatalities, including some believed to be children. Ladies and gentlemen, offer your thoughts and prayers if you do that to these people tonight.
Brett Adair thinks that it's very significant over in Silver City.
Is he there?
Multiple victims. He says it's one of his best intercepts, but it's somber after search and rescue. Which I really don't blame him, honestly. Yeah, Manti, Woodland, and Montpelier, there is still rotation here. We still have something right here. Red's moving away, green's moving towards, right in the middle is where the tornadic rotation would be. So please do not think that the event is over, alright? There are still people out in front of this that could be impacted. If you live... Oh, that rotation's starting to uptrend. If you live... right in eastern Webster County, western Clay and northern Clay, southern Chickasaw County in Mississippi, you need to get into your safe space right now. If you have an underground facility, get to it. But if not, get into the lowest, innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet with no windows, so you can put as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation and potential tornado as possible. I want to look through here. This is from Storm Chaser Sydney Grimmett. Storm Chaser Sydney Grimmett. And he's over in Silver City. And you can see the significant damage that is associated with that tornado. Looks like there's a lot of mobile homes over in this area, like someone mentioned earlier. I appreciate everyone who's sending me stuff in on Twitter. It really does help.
Fatality of a 1-year-old child confirmed.
PDS tornado warning's now been alleviated to just a regular tornado warning now, though it still shows PDS on. It's just a regular tornado warning.
Radar works.
Huh?
That's how GR2 works.
New tornado warning extension for Florence.
Tornado warning for Lauderdale County in northwestern Alabama, northwestern Colbert County in northwestern Alabama.
So now it is shifting off into Alabama. A lot of strong damaging winds with this. But of course there is the threat for tornadoes embedded within the line. If you know anyone who lives in Cherokee, Florence, or Tuscumbia, and even Cloverdale, we're talking Lauderdale County here. And we're also talking Colbert County. You guys need to get in your safe space right now. If you have an underground facility, get to it. But if not, lowest, innermost part of your building if you can. I don't know, Michael. I think it would probably be because of they're more focused on the intensity of it rather than the actual time alive. It'd be pretty hard to judge that. And that is a ZDR arc. This thing is starting to try and intensify again. I'm going to take a look at a vertical wind profile. I want to see what Columbus Air Force Base is doing. Ugh. Oh. That is still long track. That is very long track.
The supercell itself is struggling with structure right now because of the showers and stuff like that around it, and also the line of supercells behind it that are attached to it.
Go take a look at the VWP in Columbus.
Oh, I am fully aware. And, you know,
that's a lot of streamwise vorticity. That is a lot of streamwise vorticity. Storm relative velocity from 0 to 1 kilometer is 576. From 0 to 3 kilometers, it is 729. That is a significant amount of storm relative velocity. Appreciate it, Braveheart. Thank you much. Yeah, I mean, ow. We'll go back to Columbus Air Force Base radar, and we'll show you guys again. Still got some rotation here. So here is the original rotation, or not really the original. Here is the new rotation that is developing near Manti. That was about 10 minutes ago. And it has progressed over here to areas near and north of Montpelier. Right there. This will be heading off towards Tree Block, Prairie, Egypt, and maybe eventually, Aberdeen. So if you live in those areas over there in Mississippi, we're talking Chickasaw County, Clay County, Monroe County in Mississippi. Need to get in your safe space if you haven't already. Unfortunately, this storm is going to be heading north of Columbus, so Columbus should be fine for right now. But areas north of that, we're talking Armory, Quincy, Aberdeen, Egypt, Tree Block, Prairie. You guys need to get in your safe space. And this thing still looks to be significant. We still have a very strong ZDR arc here. If this thing survives the cell mergers, we could be talking about another strong tornado. It may not be as long-lived as the other one, but we could be talking about another strong tornado here in a bit. And it is getting some pretty strong velocities, but it is also suffering a little teeny bit with the cell mergers. So let's hope that that ends up being the case. Let's go back up. Florence, Tuscumbia, Cloverdale, Cherokee, and Barton. All right, so Colbert County, Lauderdale County. So northern Colbert and western Colbert, as well as central and northern Lauderdale. If you are in those counties that I just called out here for, in Alabama, all right, this is now moved off into Alabama in the northern portion of the state. You need to take your proper precautions. If you have an underground facility, get to it. If not, it's okay. Get into the lowest, innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet with no windows, so you can put as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation and potential tornado as possible. Wow. I'm trying to find more information here. I know I'm just being quiet. I'm also very just... It's almost kind of surreal to me.
This is the human aspect of what we do here, folks.
You know, and then I can keep trying to say stuff here over and over again. To try and ease it a little bit. But I'm starting to run out of stuff to say. Besides doing nowcasting. And I just really hope. I really hope. Especially since, I mean, that storm tracked for over 100 miles. From Rolling Fork, technically from Lake Providence all the way over to Winona and areas northeast of Winona. And even towards the Webster County areas. You know, I really hope that so far from what we heard is all of what we hear. If that makes any sense. I don't want to hear anything else that is poor, bad from this storm. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's not any worse than this.
It hurts for y'all just as much as it hurts for us. Or rather the other way around. Excuse me.
Right.
Yeah, you get what I mean. Like, I suppose what I'm saying is, we do the stuff in front of the camera. Humans still have emotions. Like, it stings. And I can't imagine what it's like for the people that are there.
Oh, 100%. Flash flooding is now going to start to be an issue here. Tornado warning for Chickasaw County has now been canceled. They probably will issue a new tornado warning realistically for eastern Chickasaw and Monroe County. But flash flooding will continue to be an issue. I mean, you can see how much rain, how much water has been dumped across the area, across the board in this area. So, turn around, don't drown. Don't drive into flooded roadways. Do not become a casualty. Mayfield is kind of in its own region. This is Dixie Alley still. If you're in Mississippi, if you're in Alabama, if you're in Louisiana, Georgia, Arkansas, technically. Actually, not really Arkansas. Arkansas is the Ozarks. It's southern Arkansas. That's Dixie Alley. Once you start to get to like Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. That's the Ohio River Valley up there. Especially with Kentucky. Trying to make sure I get all these radars organized here for us so that way we can just efficiently move on through. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for Nashville that I want to talk about here real quickly. And then we'll get back to the tornado warning that's over near Florence and Tuscumbia. That is a damage threat considerable. Severe thunderstorm warning. So 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible within Nashville. Maybe even a little brief spin-up is even possible here, approaching the Forest Hill and Brentwood areas in southern Nashville. It won't be strong. It'll be kind of like almost as if it's a strong wind gust. But still something to kind of note there. Yeah, I mean, it's got a... This storm here that's near Tree Block, right? It's got to survive the cell merger. If it can, which it looked like the storm that originally ran into it is kind of ripping it apart just a little tiny smidge. But there's another storm that's going to collide into this one here, right there. So if I back it up, you can see these storms have been moving northeast. This one has been colliding with this one, with the main supercell here. And so depending upon the interaction between this storm and this one, will determine if this storm will survive or not. And then it's got to go through another one if it does survive. And then it looks like it'll have a good chance to try and spin up again, which is the reason why I'm still here, the reason why I'm still watching, because I do believe that this thing does have a decent shot, honestly, at trying to produce another one.
I'll be right back.
Yep. The rotation is elevated. The rotation is elevated, so don't get me wrong. But just had something really interesting come across my DMs. Man, I'm gonna have to fix a lot of messes off of this stream. But still riding the shortwave. Let's check, shall we? Is it riding it? Kind of. Now it's a bit more of a neutrally short wave at the surface. 700. Yeah, it's still riding the short wave at 700. It is starting to kind of weaken a little bit, though. It is starting to kind of weaken a little teeny smidge, which is the good news. But it is still riding the short wave. Let's go back to the tornado warning, or what should be a tornado warning, and it's producing a tornado. It's producing a tornado. It doesn't show a correlation coefficient, but it's going to produce a tornado. There's the new tornado warning. Knew that was coming.
Tornado warning for southeastern Chickasaw County in northeastern Mississippi, southern Itawamba County in northeastern Mississippi, Monroe County in northeastern Mississippi.
Oxford is good, or at least if you're talking about Oxford, Mississippi. They're fine. Pontotoc is going to get one more storm, and then they'll be fine, but it's not going to be significant. Egypt, Aberdeen, Prairie, Armory, you need to get in your safe space right now. If you're in western Monroe County, you need to get in your safe space right now. I said this was going to do it again. I said this was gonna do it again. I said this was gonna do it again. It's gonna have a bit of time to try and produce a tornado. It probably will produce a tornado for 10, maybe 15 minutes at most. But it's gonna do it again. It is going to produce a tornado. It probably is producing a tornado right now as we speak. It is crossing over Highway 45 alternate, and it will get to Highway 45 here in a second, near Aberdeen and north of Aberdeen. So if you know anyone that lives over in those areas, they need to get to their safe space right now. And by the way, this is not the same exact storm that produced the tornado. It's a different mesocyclone. This is not the same storm that produced the stuff that was over near Rolling Fork and Silver City. This is a separate one, but it is riding along that same axis. It is riding along that same vorticity axis over and over and over again. And that might be...
Oh my god. That's not on the... It's not a correlation coefficient signature yet, but... This could be a strong tornado once again.
Spectrum width drop, or spike, technically. Little small vortice that formed from it. But this right here, this probably is going to produce a significant tornado. This is probably going to produce a significant tornado. Guys, if you haven't already, please be sure to help me spread this information with as many people as possible, if you can. Because if we've learned anything, I was going to say, if we've learned anything here tonight, it's that these storms have the potential to be significant. They do. And that is a ZDR arc. It is still intensifying as we speak. You can see the ZDR arcing, just like that. Little arc. I just also want to say, I want to try and compare something here with you all. So I want you guys to very carefully look at this photograph right here. You see, or you see the storm right here? It looks very similar to a photograph, right? Let's try and compare it to what's currently happening. Does that look kind of similar here? At least from right here to right here? Does that look a little similar? A little similar to you all?
Amory, it's imperative that you are in an interior room now.
This thing is yeah. This thing is probably, yeah, there it is. There it is. Amory, Hatley, Bigby, Egypt, Highway 45, north of Aberdeen. This is producing a significant tornado right now as we speak. That right there. Wow. Wow. That is producing a significant tornado as we speak. Large debris ball. Very large debris ball. Very large debris ball.
Very deep. Very deep.
That right there is wow.
Amory, Hatley, now. Oh my goodness.
And it survived the cell merger for the time being. It will have approximately 10 to 15 minutes before the next storm will get in. And we'll see if it affects it.
Nate, I've got 143 on top of 19.
What?
I wish I was kidding.
Look at the spectrum width ball.
Storm relatives is 83 on top of 73. Folks, significant tornado.
Look at the spectrum width ball.
Yeah, it's a wedge.
That is a wedge.
Amory, you need to be underground. And that's not the first time I'm saying this tonight.
Look at the normalized rotation. It went from 0 to 100 in like 5 minutes.
Look at that profile then. Like,
PDS. PDS. Particularly dangerous situation tornado warning has been issued for Chickasaw, Itawamba, and Monroe counties here in Mississippi. That'll be in effect until 11:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 10:41, or now it's 10:43, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near New Wren, or 7 miles northwest of Aberdeen, moving northeast, or moving east, I should say. Now it's moving east at 65 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. You're in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. Amory, Aberdeen, Okaluna, Smithville, Prairie, New Salem, New Wren, Hatley, Gatman, Quincy, Turin, Egypt, Wise Gap, Wren, McCondy.
That's the deepest CC I've seen in months. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
And velocities that's gone.
That is
also occluding. Which I'm going to emphasize once again. Amory, you need to be underground now. You don't really have time. You've got a couple minutes to grab blankets and pillows. You don't have much more time than that.
I wonder if it can recover from the occlusion. If it becomes a failed occlusion, it'll maintain. Because it is looping to the left. It is doing exactly what I was worried about in the beginning of the stream, to where it starts out straight and then it loops off to the left. But sometimes what happens is this could be a failed occlusion where it loops heavily to the left and then it recorrects itself and then continues to move east. This right here is a significant tornado. Amory, Hatley, and Quincy. If you're in those areas in Mississippi, Monroe County, you need to get into your safe space immediately. Wow. The debris ball continues. It is completely spherical. Debris ball mile wide, as the width and the height is 1.25 miles to 1.5 miles. 118 on top of 88. 118 off of 88.
It's going to be a failed occlusion.
It is going to be a failed occlusion. If it is a failed occlusion, it takes it to the southern side of Amory. So maybe not a direct hit, but it may not also be the best case scenario either, because Hatley is in the path. Amory and Hatley, if you are in the path of this right now in Mississippi, you need to get in your safe space. Someone brought up a very good point. I want to see if I can do this.
PDS continues.
I'm surprised.
Give it a minute. Maybe another couple of minutes. 10:46, and confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located.
There it is.
Wren, 8 miles southeast of Okalona, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation, as worded by the National Weather Service in Memphis, Tennessee. So locations that are going to be impacted include Amory, Aberdeen, Okalona, Smithville, Prairie, New Salem, New Wren, Hatley, Gartman, Quincy, Turon.
There it is.
Wise Gap, Wren, McCondy, Buena Vista, Sipsey Fork, Becker, Splunge, and Athens. And Nate, let me just get through this, and then I'll let you have the floor. If you are in any of those areas that I mentioned, you need to be in an underground shelter or in your lowest innermost part of your building. I know around here that there are a bunch of underground shelters after what happened in the subsequent in the sequence of events in 2011. Please seek out those shelters now. If you are along State Route 25, you have very little time. Bigby, Amory, you are going to be impacted within the next 5 minutes, maybe 7 to 8 minutes tops. If you're in Smithville, you have a little bit of time to get into an underground shelter and get blankets and pillows and stuff like that to take with you. Hatley as well. You guys need to be getting into your safe space. If you are along United States Route 278 going through Amory and Hatley, you have very little time as well. You need to be getting into your safe space now. Go ahead.
That's the tornado. That's the tornado in 3D.
Oh, you found it?
Mm-hmm. That is still a significant... Oh my gosh.
It's going right for Amory. It's buzzsawing its way through.
129 on top of 91. No, I'm sorry. 134 on top of 91. It's got a 196 knot delta velocity.
That's a 225 mile an hour delta.
VROT is 98.3. That's realistic too. 129 on top of 129 on top of 114.
Nate, I want you to take off radar just for a second here on GR2 and look at the worst case situation we're dealing with right now.
Oh, yeah, Amory, Hatley.
Tornado emergency. Tornado emergency has been issued for Amory. It is a tornado emergency. At 10:48, a confirmed large and destructive tornado was located over New Wren or near Amory. This is moving northeast at 65 miles an hour. This is a tornado emergency for New Wren and Amory. This is a particularly dangerous situation, as worded by the National Weather Service in Memphis. Folks, you gotta take this seriously. This is the same supercell that produced the strong tornadoes in Winona, in Silver City, in Rolling Fork. All those areas, if you've been on the stream for a few hours now, should sound familiar to you all. You need to take this as a life or death situation. If you are in Amory, you have no time underground or you are risking your life. Underground, it gives you your best chance at survival from what is likely a strong to violent tornado on the ground with a, oh my goodness, that is a really impressive
143 mile per hour delta velocity with a 106 knot VROT. And that just updated. That's gone. Oh. That is a 106 knot VROT. 141 on top of 101. 242 mile per hour delta velocity. That's how fast the rotation is. And this thing is starting to rain wrap itself.
Folks, I'm going to say this once again. And again, I don't say this lightly. And Nate can hold me to my word.
Oh,
on
it's
that.
going central to northern Amory. It shifted left.
If you try and go outside and look at this thing, you might die. You need to be inside now. Underground now. You stand very little chance if you are not taking your proper precautions right now.
It shifted left.
Problem is that part of Amory that you
Tornado
mentioned,
warning for Northern Marion
it's
County
gridded
in
with
northwestern
residents.
Alabama.
Yes.
So
Central to northern Amory. It shifted left. And the worst part about it here, chat, you know, I would love to look over this, geek out over it and stuff like that. The fact of the matter is that this tornado is completely circular on radar. Completely circular. Meaning that this is as well-defined of a tornado as you can possibly get. That might be good news there, what I just saw here on radar. Maybe another shift to the left to get to northern Amory instead of central, but still, Amory Amory, Bigby, Hatley need to get in your safe space. If this thing shifts back to the right, it's going straight for you.
PDS Ackelberg downstream in Hamilton. I've also got debris reliably to 15,000 feet already.
Smithville right now. If you live in Smithville, Mississippi, you need to get in your safe space. Once again, tornado emergency that has been issued for Monroe.
Right up State Route 25.
Yeah, it'll parallel
Right up
25
State Route
all the way
25.
up. All the way up. Amory, Bigby, Smithville, Mississippi Highway 25, Mississippi Route 25, Southern Itawamba County, Southeastern Itawamba County in Mississippi, and then Marion County, Western Marion County near Bexar in Alabama. You need to get in your safe space right now. Man, that is a massive debris signature. It is still on the ground, and it is still doing significant damage. Significant damage. Just updated. Now on the western to northern portions of Amory. Southern Amory, though it is still going to be pretty significant over there, won't get the center of the tornado. Oh my gosh, that left flank velocity enhancement. Good news is it does look like it's starting to gust out its RFD on the southern side, which means we could be talking about the potential
It's getting more showers and thunderstorms right into its inflow. That's helping it. That's helping that.
helping the gusting.
Yes.
Well, it has been the timetable. We said it probably would be alive for about 10 to 15 minutes before the next storms move on through. We just need to hope that those storms, if they are going to merge with the storm, it does kill off the tornado before it continues. But this is still a significant tornado. I mean, look at how large the ball is here, guys. Look at how large the debris ball actually is. And I'm actually going to go over to radar scope here real quickly. If you guys are willing to bear with me here.
I'm just going to read the updated text here for the tornado emergency at 10:54. Confirmed large and destructive tornado was located over Amory, moving northeast at 70 miles an hour, folks. I am not misspeaking. That is not a typo. This is moving at highway speeds, which just increases the amount of volatility that this thing has. This is still a now I'm just going to say, this is a violent tornado still on the ground that has gone north of Amory. It probably has skimmed town, and it is heading right up to Smithville, right along State Route 25. Folks, if you are on 25 in Smithville or near Smithville, you need to be underground now. You have no other way. You don't have time to get out. You need to hunker down.
2 mile wide debris ball.
Mm-hmm.
And it's reliable in this instance to think that that is the actual size of the tornado, if not a little bit less, because of how close we are towards the tornado. I mean, just a reminder for everyone, we're only looking up 600 feet. The tornado that we were looking at when it was over in Rolling Fork, that was 3,000 feet above ground level. This thing here, we're looking at it, it's 600 feet above ground level.
So, folks, there is good and bad. The outflows get into this thing. If you remember, and I am not comparing, so nobody even start with me on that. If you remember the Norman tornado, similar in supercellular structure before it got wrapped up in the vertical wind due to the vertical wind profile that it had. This is a similar situation. With the Norman tornado, same thing happened. The outflow boundary got the best of the storm, made it go outflow dominant. What do we remember after the Norman tornado dissipated, after the big tornado dissipated? Several vortices after the fact. Folks, if this tornado dissipates now, the threat is not over. There is a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning in effect for the areas of Bexar, Weston, Hamilton, and Hackleburg. If you guys know anyone who is in that area, you need to tell them that this is a life or death situation. You need to get them awake. You need to do something so that they may be able to be aware of what is on their hands. Because not many people are probably going to realize the magnitude of this event until it is right on top of them.
The tornado's trying to compensate for
Tornado warning for
the cell
Northern
mergers.
Limestone County in north
If you take a look at correlation coefficient, it's trying to ingest a lot of its forward flank downdraft into the tornado right now to try and make a push.
It turned right.
It's trying to make a push.
That's a new tornado warning.
It is trying to make a push to the right, and you can see that with the correlation coefficient. The RFD is surging hard, very hard. And you can even see that on reflectivity, the massive bowing right at the front part of the hook. The RFD is surging very hard to try and maintain this thing and to try and avoid death or recycling of this tornado because of the storms that are out in front. If the tornado can pick up a little bit more speed, if it can pick up a little bit of speed, this thing will maintain.
It's already moving at 70. I mean,
if it can pick up a little bit more speed, it'll be able to maintain and outrun the outflow boundary that it created. Because the RFD is very significant. But it is surging in the forward flank downdraft harder now than it has been in the previous times. And it is associating itself with a bit more of a rightward push. Now, Smithville, you are not out of the clear. You are not in the clear right now. Because what it will do is it will try to occlude again here. Within the next probably, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes. Which means this thing will turn to the left. Which means this thing will go due north. And it will go near you. It will go very near you in Smithville. So if you're in Smithville, Mississippi right now.
That's still a huge debris signature.
If you're in Smithville, Mississippi right now, you need to get into your safe space right now. If you haven't already. There is a very significant, life-threatening tornado that is moving off into your area right now. It just passed Amory. If you can get a scanner for Amory, try and see if you can hear anything from them. Because I have a feeling we're going to be hearing a lot from them. From emergency management.
Crap. It's not. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Amory fire. Here you go, have fun.
I really do think this thing will turn to the left again. It probably will turn to the left. Like a hard left.
So we were in town.
Go away, ads. I don't care.
It beat the cell merger.
The RFD was trying to compensate for it heavily. Is that...
Oh, we have noise.
Is that debris or is that the SVC?
Yeah, it is. You got me. I've got my family and I got Cody Kennedy here. That's gonna be it. We'll be here at Hadley. One trees down in front of the station. You won't be getting through this way.
Once again, this is a tornado emergency. This is a deadly situation. Deadly situation right now for Smithville and for Bexar, Alabama. This is a deadly situation. Deadly tornado. It has turned left.
As soon as the weather clears here, I'll try to head that way so I can give you some.
It also has become a lot more rain wrapped. Wow.
Has it passed me, or is it still strong? So it's still strong here.
Wow. This is
That's good.
this is absolutely remarkable. And the only reason why I say that from a science perspective is because right now the actual tornado in itself is right here. It has gotten a lot smaller. The tornado's gotten a lot smaller. But the debris, because of the RFD on the side, is picking it up and still wrapping it around on that side. So we still have very strong winds moving into this thing. And because of that, we still have as large of a debris signature as we do. This is still a tornado in progress.
I think it may get beat, though. Look at the newest frame. Look at that southeastern edge. It may get beat. We'll see.
I do think the RFD will beat it.
But the RFD may win for the next 15 or 20 minutes.
24-5-1. Yep. As in touch with Task Force Lead, I told him to go ahead and send personnel. This is the way we'll find out everything we got. We need reports on Smithville as soon as we can get out of there also. Yeah.
New update.
Still significant tornado in progress, but the the outflow boundary is winning. It's about to occlude into the forward flank.
Right.
So this thing is probably going to die off shortly before it hits the Mississippi-Alabama border. If you're in Bexar, Weston, Hamilton, or Hackleburg, you still need to be sheltered in place. You still need to be underground if you can. This is still a very volatile situation, and there could still be another tornado that gets produced heading into your area. Tornado emergency remains in effect until 11:15 for a confirmed large and destructive tornado located over Smithville, 8 miles northeast of Amory, moving northeast at 60. This is a tornado emergency for the city of Smithville and southeast of Toowoomba County in Mississippi. This is a particularly dangerous situation worded by Memphis.
You know what it did do as well? So first off, it is occluding right now, as I thought. Second off, to really try and compensate, the storm tried to ingest a lot more storm relative helicity, storm relative flow, because of the cell inside the inflow notch, which makes sense because the inflow notch was clogged. So it was trying to compensate because the flow was from somewhere else. It wasn't the original entire inflow notch. It was just cut off in half, so it only got it in one spot, which means the streamlines in itself were different. Which is the reason why it compensated with a stronger RFD and became outflow dominant. It's still a tornado ongoing right now. It's due east of Smithville right now. It is still a tornado in progress. It has shrunk considerably. And it is starting to become a lot more rain-wrapped. But it is... And the debris signature has started to alleviate slowly but surely. I'm taking a look at the next velocity scan here.
I'm looking at reflectivity. That thing is off the ground at this point. Yep. Most likely is off the ground. So, what we need to be watching out for now...
There's actually... Hold up, Morgan. Hold up. Small vorticity on the southern side. Small. And I mean very small.
What do you mean?
Small satellite, I'm assuming. The southern side of that area, the rotation.
Where it's 82 on, like, 3-ish.
40 on top of 35 with storm relative.
Same
that is
thing.
82 on top of 6. Yes.
So, that may be the case. But, folks, if we're going to be talking about another strong tornado, we're going to need to monitor occlusion patterns. We're going to need to monitor those storms that are out along County Road 17, excuse me, State Road 17. State Route 17 going north through Sullivan and Detroit. There's a lot of showers and thunderstorms out there. That might choke this storm. But if we're going to be looking for a holding pattern in terms of a new tornado, we're going to be looking in the middle of that warning, probably nigh up into Hackleburg.
Yeah.
So Bexar, Weston, Hamilton still need to be in your safe space. Vortices are a thing. If you do remember, oh, what the hell is that?
The wind is still moving.
It's doing exactly what I thought it would. It is a satellite. It is a satellite. It's Fujiwaraing. It's Fujiwaraing. It's spinning around the original rotation. There's the small little rotation, small little tornado that's on the southern side. It's gonna move up north, and it's gonna spin around the original rotation. And I wonder, actually, I don't know this for certain, but I wonder if that actually helps it. Because if it actually does Fujiwara, it could actually sling it out and beat the outflow boundary. It could.
Just toss him when we need him.
It very well could, but it will Fujiwara.
Do you have the scanner up?
I do.
Do you hear that?
No, I was too busy talking.
Said so much damage they can't get anywhere, covering the roads.
Wow.
Fire 1.
It's Fujiwaraing. It is 100%. The Fujiwara effect is essentially when you have two areas of low pressures right next to each other. Two areas of low pressures. One right there, one right there. They spin counterclockwise around each other. Alright? Until they eventually merge, and there it is. There it is. Yeah, it's on the ground still. It is 100%, and that actually is two tornadoes. That is two tornadoes that are on the ground right now. There are two of them. There's one debris signature. There is the second one. There are two tornadoes on the ground as of this moment, right now. Yes, I just said there are two tornadoes on the ground as of this moment. You did not hear that as a anomaly or whatever, or something weird. No, this is. This is two tornadoes.
They're gonna have rescue issues because they can't get around.
So this is going to continue to sling up just like this. Watch for the next scan to try and move up. And if something does, if this continues to sustain on the backside, watch this to come down here just like that. And this tornado instead will then gain intensity.
But I do not see the Exxon station anymore.
You just, what?
Tornado warning for southeastern Itawamba County in northeastern
The Exxon's gone.
New small PDS box.
Yeah, very small PDS box. Interesting. It's still up.
The emergency is about to expire.
Could I be overestimating the intensity of the Fujiwara? Because now it's horizontally aligned. Before it was barely horizontally aligned.
God, my nose.
Maybe it'll take another couple of minutes before it does sling. Huh.
24 to off-duty personnel is responding. If you know
Regardless, a
if you
new
need
particularly dangerous situation tornado warning has been issued for Itawamba County and Marion County, Western Marion County. If you're in Western Marion County, you need to get in your safe space if you haven't already. There is a significant storm / tornado that is getting very, very close to Bexar, Weston, and areas west of Hamilton.
Copy, I'm fixing to be 10-8 myself. 45, fire 1.
If you haven't already, please be sure to help me spread this information with as many people as possible. This storm looks to at least be still trying to be significant tornado-wise. The good news is that the majority of the line is starting to try to catch up with these supercells. You can play the radar imagery, and you can see the line is starting to kind of solidify a little bit more, which is the good news. But this storm still looks to be significant. And wow, look at reflectivity here, guys. Very skinny inflow notch. But look at these vorticity bands on the backside. Look at these vorticity bands. I wonder if we can see this with velocity here too. Yeah, we can. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Intense. And I mean intense vorticity bands. Surging into this storm right now. That... Listen, we know a lot about tornadoes, but there's still a lot of ways to go for us. And this right here is a big reason for it. Now it's doing it. Now it's slinging. It actually is starting to merge instead. So there's the one satellite. There's the original tornado. And it has now moved further south of the actual rotation in itself. This thing is doing the Fujiwara as we speak. Yeah, it could be Bear, Alabama as well. If you know anyone who lives in either Bexar or Bear, it could be pronounced both ways. In Alabama, you need to get in your safe space.
So 1 to 925. Hey, how long before you can get
this?
The man
Yeah.
and get it set up? I'll let you know the destination here in just a moment. I got it warmed up, ready to go. Just wait long for me.
No, I'm wrong. It already did a Fujiwara. It did it as quick as I thought it would. Hold up. Time out, chat. Time out. Right here. Right here. Next scan, please. I'm going to connect the lines here. I'm going to create my own
This is 1.5. I'm deploying to Gilmore.
path. It did it a lot quicker than I thought it would. Ah, that's the wrong color. Go back. Oh, we might as well do that, and then do that. Look at that. Look at this track here, chat. So let's start from the beginning. All right. So, tornado right here. All right. Rotation goes north, second one goes south down here. Rotation, northern one goes west, second one goes kind of northeast-ish, speeds up and accelerates. Then it starts to go north. The one that was all the way to the west then goes south. And then it rotates again. It was as quick as I thought it would be. It Fujiwara'd. And it Fujiwara'd quite rapidly. Oh my gosh. It spun the two vortexes around so quickly. That was so fast. There.
106, fire one.
There.
I've got reports.
Oh my gosh, it spun it so quickly.
There's going to be some folks trapped in some houses there on
It
Stevens
spun
Street.
it so quickly. Now it looks like there's only one rotation. It looks like it's merged officially. It looks like it is officially merged. So now it's just one giant area of rotation here.
That's copy. You know if it's clear and where we can get out of here and come to town? Sir, I tried to check with 911, but I couldn't get through to them.
What's the next place out in front of this? Hackleburg. Wow.
Yep, right.
That thing spun so quickly.
As of right now, we're going to set the last post there at the station. I know it's going to be hard to get to it, but that's what we're going to do at the moment.
This was from one of our viewers here, from Winona. This is from D Gun for Fun, with 2 N's for gun. From Darius, and he's showing what he got, which does seem to be some fortunately minor damage, with the exception of the giant tree. Look at that giant tree that got snapped. That is a big tree. Big tree. But that was one of the early tornadoes that moved on through our area. Wow. I wonder if this thing will try to recycle. It looks like the line is starting to beat it just slightly, because there's the supercell right there. And the line, which, how fast is upscale growth here today? Unknown. Wow, that's as HP as you can get it. Look at that photograph. That is as high precipitation as you can possibly get. That is textbook. That is textbook. Long track, high precipitation. Looks like rotation is weakening steadily, which is the good news. That also could be because it's starting to get behind the line. We'll watch to see if that continues to be the case. Where is Fork, Mississippi? Oh, that's Rolling Fork. That makes sense. Oh, this is from Trey Jones, or Trace Jones from Stormquest Chasing. Trace Jones from Stormquest Chasing. It's a video they took in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. And then we'll show. That house is gone. I'll send it to you, Morgan. It's the second video. That's not a mobile home. That's an actual house.
Who, me?
Yeah, I was just...
31 to 37.
Who, me?
Yeah, I was just...
Stuff like that happened tonight, guys. And once again, that was from Trace Jones. That's at TREYCE Jones, JONESWX on Twitter. Part of Stormquest Chasing. Damage threat, destructive, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Marion County as well. So on top of the potential for there to be a tornado, there is also the potential for 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts across the board. So destructive, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Hamilton. And I do believe we have a camera here.
I know everybody's tired of it. Let's try to get in touch with 925, stick command up into your Wiggins parking lot. I think you can
We
get
do have a camera. That's in Hamilton right there. So we'll be able to see if there is...
Multiple reports in the trap net, just set on the scanner.
Actually, let's go north.
Contact 925. Let's set up a command post at Piggly Wiggly parking lot. And also, we're trying to make our way to Stevens Street. Multiple reports have been traveling along in that area.
Yep.
Nice guy. Can we get to the store? Got fired out. I believe y'all can make it to there. We're fixing to have to go on foot. Radios have gotten wet, so I don't have, we're probably not
New tornado warning. Extension for Phil Campbell.
Tornado warning for eastern Franklin County in northwestern Alabama.
327 power one. Right across. Cyclone 1 to 5-1. Vehicles off the road.
Just one long track supercell just continued to move through over and over and over again.
Off the road and one under a tree.
One car lofted into a tree. What I just heard. God, I hope no one was in those cars.
Send an engine one back to the station. We're at I can't even tell you where we're at. We've got somebody hollering for help trapped in the building. We're trying to get in. I'm sending engine one back to get the Rangers.
This is in Hamilton.
Let's go. $727, 5491.
Once again, that is a new tornado warning for Franklin County in Alabama.
On 278 Warehouse Road, I do have 3 cars under the tree, but no injuries. Copy.
Man, look at these winds.
Into 237.
Give me a second as I do that. That makes things better. So it'll try to exit out.
Amory Fire. Amory Fire. If anybody can break off, we have got a gas leak on 6th Street North.
Gas leak. Northern part of the city.
6th Street North gas leak.
Gas leak. 6th Street. 6th Street North.
We got multiple gas leaks all through town. Might be a good idea to contact that motion stickers anyway. They could possibly shut down like a main line or something like that. 24, I'm working on it, everybody.
10-4.
This is from at Willow Shallow on Twitter. Reports of damage in Amory. The video right here. That looks like a roof that caved in. And I'm not sure what that to make of that. I'm not sure if that's a building there or if that's just a bunch of trees that were stacked on top of each other. It's a little bit difficult to tell. Appreciate it, David, for you sending that in. Yeah, it doesn't look like this thing is rotating as significantly as it once was, fortunately. But interestingly enough, though, it does have a hook echo on the rear side. So if this thing does produce a tornado, it could be near Hackleburg, but its chances are starting to decrease over time. So it's running out. Running out of time. Oh my gosh, that was from Aaron Rigsby. Picture horizontal vortex as it was getting into Rolling Fork.
Go ahead, Amory Fire.
911, I need you to get atmosphere ASAP and see if they can shut down a main line or something. We got multiple gas leaks. We just need to see if we can get out here ASAP.
Oh boy.
Multiple gas leaks.
10-4.
That's not.
That was from at Aaron Rigsby, OSC. And that's the picture of the tornado that he caught. And that right there is a horizontal vortex. Just got to work. I have family in Aberdeen, just south of Amory. Did this miss Aberdeen? Yes, just barely. Just barely it did. Amory right now had, we're getting good reports of strong damage ranging from Egypt all the way over to Amory and Smithville. So if you're talking about Aberdeen specifically, yes, it barely missed Aberdeen. I'll even show you
personnel, a full State Rifle Fly. We picked up several civilians, National Guard, members, etc. Identify themselves.
Egypt.
Copy, I'm here when you need.
Debris signature. Aberdeen.
106, fire one.
Debris signature still. Amory.
I've made it to my house, so I'm about to leave here and head to town. Y'all need anything before I come to town? Also, I've got my niece and her kid are trapped in a house on Brown Street.
Yeah, look at that here, guys. Look at this.
Slowly, figure it's gonna be hard to get here, but if you can get Brown Street, probably gonna be closer to get than the fire department.
That's the path of the tornado right there.
In the Amory Community Center.
How many miles was it on the ground for? Good question. Let's find that out now.
Copy 911, no injuries. I'm here at the community center. No injuries. Copy, thank you, sir.
So it started right about there. Ended right about there.
911 Amory Fire.
Give or take 30 miles.
On 6th Street North, I've got Atmos on the line.
I'll say 25. I'll say 25 miles is a safe bet. Give or take that. 25, 30 miles. This is another long tracker.
Copy. On that gas leak, there's multiple gas leaks. I will try to get a better thing, but there's multiple all over the city.
Look at all the
Copy, propane or gasoline.
look at the path.
Engine 2.
Actually, I can go to normalized rotation. Look at that.
Or the elderly couple trapped out.
That right there is the path of the tornado.
Stand by.
Yeah, so this one here specifically. This one here specifically is, I would say, 25 to 30 miles. And there's the debris signatures as it went through.
MLK and High Avenue. Waiting on the elderly couple that was trapped. We got people trapped on 1075 E Avenue in a trailer. Table. 31 days. Go ahead. If I do is a gas leak at the West English School.
Hmm. Potential small area of rotation south of Hackleburg is also possible. I'm trying to listen to what they're saying here as well.
Be advised, if anybody wants to that's close to my residence, I'm fixing to load a skid steer. I have a tractor sitting here full of fuel. If anybody can get on it and come. Copy, who am I speaking with?
New mesoscale discussion. The risk for a few tornadoes continues, but probably will gradually lessen with storms overspreading the region through 2 to 3 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Hmm.
Tornado warning for Hackleburg has been downgraded all the way down to a radar confirmed tornado. Or excuse me, radar confirmed warning, not radar indicated warning, not confirmed. Will repeat, not confirmed.
Yeah, this is Bentley 909. Robert
You
Stanton.
tell I'm tired.
Maybe just a little bit.
No, just me, parking lot, what we're seeing again. Just that big parking lot.
More debris fanning. Wow, so the debris actually got caught in the RFT. Huh. What about the cell near Pulaski, Tennessee? Looks like storms have passed Pulaski, so you should be good. That is a tornado.
Amory Fire, Atmos has been contacted for the gas leak on 6th Street North. We just had another one on 110th Street North. They've been notified of that one as well. Have you had a report of 4 people trapped inside a residence at 805 Walnut?
What?
4?
911, is that 805 Walnut?
Caller advised 805 Walnut Street. There are no injuries, just they are trapped inside the residence.
Sorry, one back. Go ahead, mate. Yeah, man, we have one car stuck under the underpass on 278.
Thank you, Joseph, for staying up with us. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, that's a tornado that was west of Rogersville in Lauderdale County earlier. That's east of Florence. Man. If any of you guys have anything that you want to share with me on Twitter, please be sure to @ me at Nate_Snyder. I have that right there. We are currently trying to report on